the Strokes, and last night. We just had a call, didn't we? From Johnny Mango.
Oh yes, Johnny Mango, yeah.
Yeah, old the Mankster. And he informed me that one of the worst was dead, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, Adge Cutler, who was the lead man, I think.
Yeah, he said he died the most rock and roll death you can die. He said he was apparently driving on a terrible cocktail of cider and other things, presumably.
Yeah.
Apples and jams.
Yeah.
And he crashed into a tractor. Now I wonder, is that true? JM's not winding me up.
Yeah,
I hope the Mango Boy's not having a laugh at me. Is that true? One of the Wurzels died by tractor. Did he? Is that true? So give us a call. What's the number again, Carl?
08700 800 1234.
If so, I'm sorry that I disrespected them. I didn't know.
Can you imagine?
Oh God.
If, right, say if like you're the driver of the tractor, and you kill someone, you go, oh God, I've killed someone, and then you look and it's someone famous.
Yeah, or Adge Cutler. Yeah, go on, what was your point?
No, it's just like, not
Terrifying,
only
yeah.
it's like you've killed someone, then you look.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
And
Actually,
what makes it even worse? And what makes it even worse? They were rich.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that would
but
be.
say if it was someone who's like really big in the world.
No, that is I quite like that. It's an interesting point,
Oh,
that.
that's your bag. No wonder I can't find what I'm looking for.
Oh, right, well...
As Bono said.
Did you bring a bag?
Yeah. Sorry,
Is that under there, Rick?
sorry about this. I'm not
Well,
ignoring.
this is getting a bit sloppy here.
No, it's not. No,
it is, Rick. It's getting sloppy.
It's never got sloppy before. No, I've got a list here because we went to this award ceremony in the week. We were up for an award.
Well, I have to explain it to Carl, because basically we were up for an award, and it's called the Trick Awards. Now, Trick stands for Television and Radio Industries Club Annual Awards, right?
We've never heard of it either.
We've never heard of it. It's some kind of, like, television radio industry club. That's why.
Yeah, that's a clue, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
So, but we don't want to, I'm not trying to slag off the award, because it was, it was a big thing, and they really made an effort, and it was really nice. Food was brilliant. It was at the Grosvenor House Hotel, really nice do, and, lots of industry people in that there. It was really classy.
We got there nice and early, so, we were there for a good 4 hours
before we had to sit down. But it was just kind of surreal. It was just a bit weird, because it was packed with the cream, and literally the cream, big names, Martin Kemp, one of the first people I saw, came in, like, big TV radio industry names, on-screen talent, behind-the-scenes people.
John Barnes
was there,
Beadle was there.
Sir Cliff Richard was there.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so the voice comes on and says, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman, the president of the Trick Awards, and we had to stand up, all of these people had to stand up and give a standing ovation as he walked to his table to Tom O'Connor, former presenter of Crosswits.
You're joking.
No.
He's the president.
And he came out, he told a few gags, sort of like, it was like, straight away, it was, old school stuff. I thank the ladies, because, it was nothing without the ladies, all the lovely ladies here. And we went for a joke. No. just thanking the ladies.
Well, you're forgetting that just prior to that, he said grace.
Oh, he said grace.
Before we ate.
Right. It was me, Steve, and Ash, our producer, the little, disabled fella, right? And he's there in his wheelchair, and there's me and Steve. We're standing up during
By the way,
grace.
can I just stop you there?
Go on.
Saw someone in the week, and
Sorry, did we bore you?
you just reminded me then about the little producer who's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Last week you said blah blah blah, and our producer who's in a wheelchair got a text from someone saying, "What's happened to you?" They thought you were talking about me.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh.
You're handicapped in a different way.
So go on.
And Tom O'Connor, he said, thank you, God, for...
We thought this was a joke initially. We thought it was going to be like a kind of cheeky gag.
That's why we were laughing out loud.
That's why we were laughing raucously.
But anyway, and then he went, thank you, God, for this, and help those who walk alone. And Ash went, what about those that don't walk at all? He said, I've never been left out of grace before.
But we had to kind of like bowed our heads slightly, and did we say amen? I know that we were a lot of people did.
I'm pretty sure
Cliff, I think, probably chimed in there.
Yeah, he sang it.
Yeah, exactly. So
like Mariah Carey.
So anyway, but before again, see what Ricky's forgotten is before Tom took to the stage, this guy walks up there. I don't know who he is. Says there's a lot of people here this afternoon. It's a wonderful event, but of course there's a load of celebrities as well.
He said thank you for all the celebrities that have turned up, and then he went table 77. Mr. Russ Abbott, and we all round of applause. Can we have the spotlight there?
Russ Abbott, by the way, smoking a pipe. Actually, he looked like a bit like Barrett Holmes, the hilarious Sherlock Holmes character.
Then he went table 107, the cast of Bad Girls. Clap.
We'll have to clap.
And then he went, table 5, Alice Beer. Clap.
Slightly smaller clapping.
Yeah. And it's just like, and I thought, when is this going to...
He went through every single celebrity in the room.
And there were about, 100.
Table 53, John Inman, everyone. It's John Inman. Round of applause.
Yeah. And, table 70, Mr. Simon Cowell. Boo.
Yeah, there was booing there.
And they all booed him.
That was nice.
Yeah, there was a joke. Ironic booing, I think.
Could they cheer for Foxy? Was he on the table?
We didn't see Foxy.
Foxy wasn't there. He was doing his show. When they went up, they won an award, Cowell and Waterman and Chapman.
Table 43, Peter Sissons, everyone. Peter Sissons. Went through every single name. Ricky got so paranoid they might mention him that we kind of legged it upstairs and were watching from the balconies. They shone the spotlight on our table. And it was empty. That was particularly fun. But then at the end, Sir Cliff got up there, right? Because Sir Cliff was giving out the Lifetime Achievement Award, right? He gets up, he used to speak, he goes, this is a personal friend of mine, a 7 days a week friend. A Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Mrs. Gloria Hunniford. Right, we immediately start thinking what exactly were her lifetime achievements.
I think living that long.
That's pretty much it. I don't know what it is she's done,
I can
Gloria
tell you
Hunniford.
what she does.
I don't exactly, I know she's done a Radio 2 show, I don't think that's...
We're not
on the
dissing
award.
her, we're not dissing anyone.
Good luck
We're
to
not taking the mick out of anyone, but,
But anyway,
it was just a strange event.
But Gloria got taken unawares by this and started to ad-lib a speech, right? And I swear to God, about 12 minutes in, she was telling us how, and I can tell you now if you're interested, her lovely daughter Karen is currently in Australia, it's partly work, it's partly a holiday, Carl, and she's having a whale of a time, but she's not spoken to her for ages.
And then she went, actually she's been there for a long time.
Yeah,
and it's like, I was told she was going, she doesn't call, you do that, you get a Blue Peter, and this is how you...
We thought she was going to get photos out maybe, start showing it.
No, it was a nice
bizarre.
event, and everyone there, Henry Cooper was there. So Henry
It was so good because every single element as well was sponsored by someone.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the menu, I've got the programme here, and the menu, like the pudding, is sponsored by Electrolux.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had a pudding sponsored by
Yeah.
Electrolux.
I was sponsored by Zanussi.
When everyone was doing the prayers, did you look at them with their eyes shut, like you did at school?
What do you mean?
Well, when you had
Did you look at someone with your eyes shut?
No, like you'd do that. You'd do your hands together,
Yeah.
and you sort of look at people with their eyes shut and think that's like what it would look like when they're sleeping.
Play record.
Didn't you ever do that?
Table 60. Lisa Tarbuck. That's Corner Shop. Lessons learned from Rocky 1 to Rocky. I love that guitar. That's great. It's real glam rock. That's T-Rex and Bowie. I was going to play some from Ziggy Stardust today, but instead I brought in a different album. I want to play a bit of Bowie. Is that alright?
Oh, of course, yeah, always.
Yeah, bit of Beatles. Still to come up, by the way. We with the education of Carl. Last week he did Che Guevara. He did very well. Before that, the week before that, you learned all about Rasputin, didn't you? And this week you've been studying Hitler, haven't you? How does that go? How do you reckon that?
It's a bit tough.
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you the full story later, Steve. Do you know much about him?
No.
So, they're all linked. All these stories I've been reading, they've all got a similar sort of thing going through them. They're born. They have a bit of a tough upbringing. Things aren't going well, and they seem to take it out on other people.
Okay.
But I'll tell you more later.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can... I mean, I don't think Hitler and Che Guevara...
It's the same thing. Che Guevara, when he was a kid, had like asthma. Right? He wasn't a happy kid. Hitler,
he only had one ball.
Well, I was trying to find about that.
Yeah, seriously, he phoned me up in the week. I said, how's it going? He went, I've skimmed it. I've just skimmed it. I was looking for the testicle thing. Now, I don't know if they left that out or it's not true.
Right.
So he was trying to look up that Hitler has only got one ball.
I think they only did it to wind him up. Because it's like, you might be taking over the world, but we're all saying you've only got one testicle.
Sure.
And it's
So
not
did
a
you look?
gotcha.
Did you look in the index and it's sort of Hitler, Adolf, family life, early childhood, testicles, absence of.
Sort of skimmed through because
One of.
Yeah.
Mother, brackets other.
Yeah.
Albert Hall.
Yeah.
the only thing I could find was at one point in like when he was trying to run the place, there was a meeting going on, and somebody had put a bag in the meeting room and it blew up.
Yeah,
And I'm
but the
wondering
table
whether it was under the
protected him.
table. Yeah, but
What you wondering if it blew a testicle?
It was. The testicles under the table.
No, the bag blew off the ball.
No, the ball sack was probably hanging below the protective top, and so that's where he could have lost.
But why would he have only just lost the one?
Because
the way he was sitting.
Cross-legged or something. Sure. Okay. Well, I mean, again. I mean, last week we had a Che Guevara expert phoned up. Maybe they could. Maybe there's a Hitler expert this time who could maybe phone up and confirm the testicle theory.
Yeah.
What's the number again, Carl?
Oh wait, 700, 800, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You need to have at least had a PhD or something.
I don't think we should invite calls about Hitler. I think we're asking for trouble.
No, I'm talking about someone who's done a study of him and he's a PhD.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking
All
about
right.
any old nutter.
And also, Carl's lottery numbers. He's a little bit more confident this week.
Okay, good.
He went down more like it, and I looked at him and I laughed. He went, no. Even Suzanne said I'm on more on the right lines there. Is anyone who has done a degree in maths or A-level maths that can bear? Carl won't believe this, right? Carl thinks I was trying to. I know I was partly doing it to confuse him, just see that look on his face like a cat, right? But there is the chances with random numbers, for example, the lottery, of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are no greater than any other single combination.
Right.
Now that's true. I don't mean you're more likely to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 than any other combination put together, but than any other individual combination, they're all equal. It's counterintuitive, I know. I know you think that to get a run of 1 to 6 is less likely than anything else, but it's not. Any named combination... It's not, Carl. If there's a
Well,
probability...
it's never happened. Yeah, it's never happened.
Yeah, but there's any number of combinations that
never happened. Every one of those combinations that have come up have happened, and they're just as likely or unlikely as any other combination, right? It's just that you feel intuitively, right, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is less likely than 1, 7, 12, 34, 60. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't win.
Play record.
Okay.
Wu-Tang Clan, Uzi, on XFM 104.9. Well, here we are, the day before St Patrick's Day.
Oh, hooray! Brilliant.
Guinness, etc.
I hate people. I hate English people, I should say, who are obsessed with celebrating St Patrick's Day. You know, all crazy. It's like Chris Evans used to rave on about it. We're going to Dublin. We're going to get drunk. Wow. It's like it means nothing.
I
to
think
English
XFM
people,
just
doesn't
did that, to be
it? Well,
honest.
yeah, exactly. Just as bad.
Careful, they are employers. You don't want to annoy them. What would we do without this?
That's true. Yeah, have an enjoyable Saturday.
No, this is my favourite 2 hours. You like this, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
We can't do this through May and June.
No, we'll be gone.
We've got to record the second series of The Office. What are we going to do, Carl? What are you going to do on a Saturday?
Host the show yourself?
Doing it on my own.
You are not.
What's you thinking of it? If they asked
We've
you
made
to
you
do it,
everything you...
why would you not think about it?
Because I've been there, done that.
Next challenge, please.
Oh dear. Do you know what St Patrick did? Why he was revered as a saint and everything? What was he famous for in Ireland? He rid Ireland of something.
I don't know, but I bet he started off with something odd happening in his life.
What, do you think he had asthma or something as a kid?
The old day.
And he took it out on what, though?
What did he exactly? He took it out on something.
Because once again, you've predicted.
What did he do? What did he
wrongly, so
rid
it's not a beautiful
Ireland
day at all,
of?
is it, Stephen?
Why
That
not?
was you two, XFM
St. Patrick.
104.9.
St. Patrick.
This is why we're going to get crazy and drunk tomorrow.
For Carl Pilkington.
This is why we're also happy to celebrate his anniversary or whatever it is we're celebrating. This is
That's why we have a crack.
Yeah, this is why we don't bother to celebrate, the birthdays of James Joyce, one of the great novelists of this century, or Samuel Beckett, one of the great playwrights. We actually celebrate this man, St. Patrick, the man who did what?
Don't diss him. He did a good job of it as well, because there's none there now. There are none of these in Ireland. So he rid Ireland of something.
Come on, Carl, think of something. Just give us an answer. What's
He
the
went
thing?
round on a horse whacking them.
He went on a horse whacking them.
Yeah.
What was it, Carl?
What did he rid Ireland of?
Oh, bless him.
My dad does that. My parents always take
I don't
Well,
know.
no, you're on the right
On
lines.
the right lines.
Really?
for fear of there being
Who's an
some kind
animal?
of teabag drought in France.
Yeah.
You know.
Bears.
Is it I mean,
Yes, it was.
Wow! It was snakes.
Can you though? I mean,
Yeah.
you
You
can.
can get
And there are no
yeah,
snakes.
yeah.
No.
He rid Ireland
the single
of
most
all the
popular drink
snakes.
in
Yeah.
the world.
Who did it here then? Because there isn't that
fancy
many.
foreign teas, your Earl Greys and the.
Well, I think he had a habit over here as well, but got
Don't
tired and
worry,
went back.
Earl Grey. I don't know
Yeah.
what that
That's
cup
why
of
there's
tea
just a few
is.
snakes
It's
here.
not
Is
Is
it
it true that there are no
It's
snakes in
weak,
Ireland?
it's
I
pathetic.
think it
It's
is.
just-
I think if someone called us...
And what is
Is
there
there
any
any
historical
historical
evidence
evidence
for
for
St.
St.
Patrick
Patrick
ridding
ridding
them
them
of? I mean, how did he do it? Was it like the Pied Piper?
See, I'm not convinced that he did go around killing snakes, but there are no snakes in Ireland, and that's yeah. I don't know the ins and outs. If someone knows the ins and outs, we had a few probability experts and statisticians and maths graduates confirming that indeed I was correct. That the probability of 1 to 6 in a row is no more or less likely than any other single combination in a totally random selection of balls. Which brings us back to Hitler, doesn't it? Because he only had one, didn't he? But coming up, we'll be asking Carl all about Hitler, the education of Carl. He's done Rasputin, he's done Che Guevara.
Plus, of course, White Van Carl, where we asked Carl some of the his opinions on some of the hot potatoes of the week.
You learn as you go along because you've got something about St Patrick there. That was thrown in for free. That was an extra.
I'll learn you something now. Snakes.
Well, sorry, can I just stop you there and I'll teach you something. Right?
Go on then.
You don't learn someone something. You teach them something. It's not one's passive. You learn.
Ricky, I'm sorry, mate, but I don't think you should be teaching people how to speak or use grammar. I just don't think it's appropriate. It's like, it's embarrassing, frankly, because there's so many errors that you're making. It's like, where to start with you?
Snakes, right? You're talking about snakes?
Yeah.
A lot of snakes are born with 2 eggs. It's like a familiar type thing that happens to snakes.
Yeah. They take it for granted, don't they?
Right. Snakes born 2 eggs, they'll fight each other for food, even though it's from the same body.
Isn't that weird?
I immediately thought I got the SARS virus.
Were there kids at school that you went who had 2 heads?
The snake twins from Moseley.
Was there was kids at your school with 2 heads, is that right?
No, they had big heads.
They had big heads.
And webbed hands, but they weren't related. And they weren't friends because that would have been too obvious, he said. Oh, Steve, listen, before you came in, right, I sneezed a couple of times, so if I'm allergic, I've still got a bit of a cold. And I said, oh God, he went, bloody hell, I was like, sorry. And he went, you know you can't sneeze with your eyes open. I went, yeah. And then he was obviously thinking to himself still. And after a pause he went, would your eyes really fly out? And I started laughing. He went, no, because has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever held someone down, torturing them, and held their eyelids open and gave them pepper and see if their eyes would fly out? And he said, and then he went, I'm just looking at him again, the silence, and then he went, of his own accord, he just went,
I know.
I can't see that happening.
Wait a minute, that makes sense.
Your song here.
Oh, this, Bowie. Sorrow, beautiful.
Yeah.
So I was really just panicked, but I didn't immediately rush to the doctors.
No.
Because you've got to wait for ages down there. Dr. Shah's brilliant, but you've got to queue up for ages because it's down in
Sorrow
Swiss
by
Cottage
David
Road, and
Bowie.
I'll tell you, there's some tracks
I've
in
got that
there
on a
and the waiting
compilation
list.
today, but
man,
I think it's
people have just
originally
gone
off
there
the
to read
Pin-Ups
big
album,
magazines.
the one we did all the
And
covers. He didn't write that, did he?
some people who just waste the doctor's
That
time,
was the
that's
one
what
with
annoys me.
him and Twiggy
A lot
on
more
the
people,
front
a lot
cover,
of
isn't it?
listeners,
Right.
I haven't had
who
that for
just
ages. I
waste
haven't got
people's
that.
time.
So,
Sorry, you lost me. What
Are you reading the book there?
No, I was just reading the brochure there, the programme, if you will, for the Television and Radio Industries Club Awards that we went to. Incidentally, we lost.
We lost to Linda Green.
Yeah, we didn't win anything.
The best
But
comedy.
you might be interested to know that Tom O'Connor is in constant demand for corporate functions both here and abroad, and his client list includes many multinational companies. No mean golfer, Tom took the literary world by surprise in 1992 when his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I noticed it didn't take the literary world by storm.
No.
It took it by surprise.
They go, we can't say storm. We've got to say by surprise from behind.
But his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I don't know if that's just books about golf, that bestseller list. Subsequent successful books include One Flew Over the Clubhouse,
Brilliant. Genius.
Take a Funny Turn, Follow Me, I'm Right Behind You, and Eat Like a Horse, Drink Like a Fish.
Does it mention Celebrity Squares?
You didn't rush
Didn't he do
round
that?
with
No.
He did, name that tune.
Well, that's right. I was. It's
Crosswords. Do you remember Crosswords?
It was from the 80s.
It was like a crossword game show.
It was often with Kate Copstick, but I saw one right. It was on Challenge TV being repeated. And no, Andy Crane. Remember Andy Crane? He was the link man, and he went coming up next. Tom O'Connor with Crosswits with well, in my opinion, one of the best Crosswits players of all time, John Junkin.
Oh, who's your favourite Crosswits player?
It's got to be Junkin for me as well. But Copstick was alright.
Crier's bloody good.
Crier was good. Crier was good. I watched Call My Bluff in the week.
This is with Toxic and
Yeah, it was quite good. I quite
I
enjoyed
imagine
it.
you could get on there if you
I
wanted.
used to watch it with what's his name? Frank Mir.
Yeah.
Frank Mir.
I think I said,
Yeah.
there's a
Oh,
lot.
it's great.
You're
impression.
brilliant impressions, because also while Bowie was playing, you were doing your infamous Bowie impression, which is the best one you do, actually.
Well, that's just because Carl said, you know what, I said, I'd love to go out for a drink with David Bowie. Of all the people that come in here for sessions, I think he's really good in. And I said, I think he'd like you as well. That's all, and I just went, hello, Carl, you're strange, you're alien, you interest me. You're South and I'd like to put you on the... Yeah, I just imagine you and Bowie in a pub somewhere.
Isn't that pretty much the same impression you do when you do Ian Campbell?
in the waiting room looking through an
No.
old archive.
Ian Campbell's more like that. But not on air. On air he's sort of like this sort of eloquent 40-year-old capital DJ.
Yeah.
And
But when you talk to him in the studio,
he's slowly turning into Tommy Vance, isn't he?
Because I mean,
It's one of his pillars of rock, Canfield. He loves Vance, Lemmy, Diano.
if we run out of material later in the show, which is likely,
Yeah.
considering we're now talking about young
He ran out of it at 1:05.
Exactly. But could I maybe just sort of interview you as David Bowie?
Yeah,
a
that
sort
would-
of humorous sketch.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Maybe it could be the idea that what if like David Bowie was, a cab driver? What would he say? What was his sort of funny things he would
We saw that, what was that in when it said, Dead Ringers coming up? If you've ever wondered what, it
Did
would
you
sound
see
like...
Dead Ringers is this impressionist show. They did it's on Radio 4 and they did a TV version. What did you make of it?
It was alright, no, it was just that the write-up in
Radio
one
Times, I
magazine,
think it
the
was.
Radio Times, said, ever wondered what it would be like if Robbie Williams was singing George Formby? Or what would it be like if there was an
I think
Animal
it
Hospital
was hosted by Anne Robinson.
Yeah.
I actually, I have wondered. Were those two sketches on there last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a funny man.
What were they like?
You are the...
But, once somebody
You are the
knows
weakest
him,
dog
Skink. No, what was it? It was something like
You know what I mean?
they had to vote off an animal to die or something. It was something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
It was
This is
all right.
flagging. Quick, do your Bowie again.
Not all downhill, is it?
No, exactly.
Oh, come in here. Look, it's Tin Machine. Now let's play Changes. Hello, Iggy Pop, you nutter. Stop cutting yourself.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
What do you want to know? How many
No,
you want?
well, of course you. Well, I know how many you want. We're all watching, obviously.
Not everyone does though, Claire. I mean,
How many did you win?
Travis,
might want to remind you.
Flowers in the Window on XFM 104.9. 2 o'clock halfway through. Oh, it's our favourite time, isn't it? Our favourite time of the week where we come in here and play some records, have a chat.
Ricky, a lot of people are wondering who you are.
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. There's little Carl over there. Steve, it's time for...
all that.
White Van Carl.
Actually, I bought
We should definitely get some jingles. I think the show sort of lacks jingles, I think.
Yeah.
Noises.
Yeah.
Funny sound effects.
Yeah.
And I've got it,
Yeah.
right? And I thought,
What's Mr. Nosy Neighbour interested in? Hello, what's going on here? Oh, we should definitely get some pre-recorded comedy noises. Carl,
Yeah.
for next
You know,
week.
that's my job, but unfortunately I'm busy reading about Hitler.
For those that don't know, not familiar with this feature, basically The Sun runs a White Van Man column where it asks just people who, every men and women, their views on news stories from the week, and we decided we'd just ask Carl his opinion on some of the same issues. This week,
Not like us to rip off another idea and just use it for our own... No, but this time...
the White Van Man in the Sun this week is Herbie Crossman from Harrow, Middlesex. And he's asked his opinion. Carl, what's yours on pop idol Will Young admitting he is gay?
He went,
Come on, Carl.
Randall Hopkins
It's-
thing, and I went, that's what
I
I'm worried
don't
about.
understand what the big deal
People
is,
think
to be
you're a
honest.
ghost.
No.
Talking to different people about it, and they've said, oh, it could affect the sales, girls won't like him anymore, which I think
If
is
you're a celebrity,
rubbish.
Yeah, because it finished George Michael's career, didn't it?
Well, yeah, and I was thinking when I was growing up, right,
And Freddie Mercury.
I was into Kim Wilde.
Going in curtains,
Sure.
or Jonathan Ross dressing up
No.
as Roswell and Bowen.
And her
You're
kids
not going
in
to tell me
America.
she's gay, right?
No, but if she was, if they said, oh, she's,
cheeky Ricky
you know,
Gervais here, look what I'm wearing.
I was
a
worried
leather.
there was going to
Yeah.
be chocolate
right,
mousse.
I wouldn't say, right,
Johnny
that's it, I'm
Vegas was gonna
taking
greet me and
kids
start
in America back to the
immediately.
shop
Yeah,
and
it was sort of-
discussed
I was
it.
starting to keep
I
away
liked
from
her.
people.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to like meet her and marry her, and that's what does it matter?
Yeah.
Will Young, she's a good voice, he's gay, lot of gay people in the world.
Georgie boy was gay, I guess.
There you go.
Nothing more and nothing less. Kindest guy I ever knew.
Do your Bowie.
No big deal.
That's one of your favourite songs, isn't it?
And it's a new
Killing
show.
the Georgie Parts 1 and 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
And the
what do you make of the police protesting to Parliament over reforms?
That's not the band.
I knew it was all right, so I didn't just go there and start
Right,
insulting this
what's
poor
all that
middle-aged
about?
woman.
That's
I sort of
okay.
knew.
Okay, well, the police have had
Right,
various kind of
obviously
gripes
she's
and
not
grumbles
really
which they've
like
taken
that,
to
so-
Parliament.
Yeah.
Try and get them
But I love
sorted.
the way she
Like
just
what?
giggled like a little
Well,
girl.
it could take
she was quite
ages,
good, actually.
basically.
They don't like the
Yeah.
pointy
Yeah.
helmets
Sort of
anymore.
like, I don't think she's as
They
good
want
when
flat
she's-
cap.
They feel that their their
She's
powers are
in
restricted. They
March,
get a lot of
she's
bad
sort
press. They're not being paid.
They actually, they actually demonstrated, didn't they, outside the
They may have done, yeah.
At least they're doing something about it instead of just sitting there moaning. You know what I mean? They're going to the top, trying to sort it out.
Yeah.
I admire that.
Yeah. What do you make of the police generally? Are they doing a good job?
They've woke me up a couple of times at about 4 in the morning when I was a kid.
Right, was that because they were looking for your brother in his tank?
Yeah, did a Sherman tank just come through here?
Yeah.
No, my mates
general elections
nicked
or what,
cars
it's got a
and
picture of
gave
Billy
my
Piper,
name
just a
and
picture,
all
and she
Right.
goes Labour.
Were they fancy yours?
It's got,
Yeah.
Ross Kemp.
Okay, what do you make of fears that dumped Britney Spears? She's been dumped by her boyfriend.
It's sort of like
There's
you say,
worries that she may be
someone
cracking
goes,
up, Carl.
What do you think of war? I go, war, I don't know. I've made your mind up. Well, no, it's difficult, isn't it? Is it?
What-
Is
what-
it?
what are the
Well, yeah,
signs?
'cause on the one
I don't know
hand,
where I
you-
stand.
well, exactly, on the one hand,
I'm
you
not
can say
entirely
that,
sure. I'm just
war's
reading
wrong,
from this to
because,
assume that she's
it's a
obviously
knee-jerk
showed signs of
reaction, someone
depression,
would
maybe.
justify,
She'll be
you know,
alright.
stopping,
I remember, like,
fascism or
Zoe Harris,
whatever, and,
when
like
she sort
pacifism,
of
sometimes
got
you have
bored
to
of me
have
when I was a
defense,
kid.
so it's not clear and cut. I go,
Get over it, don't
okay,
even think about it now.
let's make it easier for you.
What? And how long did it take you? How long did it take you to get over that? How long did it take
To
you?
be honest, right, it was like one of my first girlfriends, and she was a pain. I remember I went out with her because she wouldn't stop hassling me. Right?
That young open
I remember
Oh, go on
I
then.
never talked to her, and then the bit that really got me, I thought I half liked her, and then I remember, right, we're at a school party, sort of infant school,
Infant school?
right?
Are you sure it wasn't junior school?
Well, it's on the cusp,
Yeah.
like, when you're about to leave infants and go to the next one.
Yeah.
And she was crying.
You were saying, I don't think we should move in together.
She was crying. She was crying. Oh, was she?
Had you stolen her milk?
She must have been nearly 6. Why didn't she grow up?
No, she was crying because somebody had stood on her dress and put a bit of an hole in it. And I said, oh, for God's sake.
I can't stand it. Oh,
So you,
I just think him.
so you gave her a slap.
I just think of him. He's like 6, like with clogs and a flat cap, going slightly bald, going for Christ's sake, woman, come on.
Oh, light my pipe.
That finished it because all her mates were saying, come on, Carl, she's upset. And I was like, oh, whatever.
She wasn't a murderer.
Saw her again.
Hold on now. Wait a minute. What do you mean all the mates were saying, look, come on, Carl? They were 6, weren't they?
Yeah, but they were saying, come on, she's crying. Help her out.
Wednesday night.
And you did nothing?
I don't know.
She got injured.
Queuing up for it. They were conscious
Got a hole in her skirt.
reputation.
Yeah, but she was upset and you were her boyfriend.
I'm happy to step in.
So what did you do? Tell me the story. Where were you?
Work out.
You were at some kind of school do. There was a hole in her
That's why
dress.
it didn't work out, he said.
Do you treat your current girlfriend in the same way? This callous disregard for someone's
His current girlfriend does not tread on her dress.
700,
She?
800, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, she didn't.
So as far as you're concerned, what was her name? Sarah? Zoe Harris. You just felt like, well, you know, if she's going to make a whinge about, you know, a silly little hole.
Louise, if
Screw
you're
her.
out there listening,
Yeah.
you know, good luck.
You're all heart, Carl.
You know, Ricky.Gervais.
What would you have done?
I'd have gone over there and given her a lovely kiss. It's so
We
weird.
were playing Dead Arm. In the
I was giving her a
Okay,
question.
very final thought then. What do you say to the fact that a judge has decided that we, the general public, have a right to know about stars' flings? Basically, this is an excuse. This is basically saying, should papers be allowed to print tittle-tattle about celebrities?
Oh, this is
Providing it's proven true.
Oh, this is something about, isn't it, a Division 1 football or something? It's definitely had of Premiership football as unfair, and it is true, but he's trying to keep privacy, and the judge said, well, it's not for us to censor the press over things that are true. It's up to the general public to either boycott or not, you know, that
What do you think,
publication.
Carl? What about all this, you know, exposing, going through the, you know, the bins of celebrities?
It's not right, is it? But people are interested in it and buy the papers to read it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, like I said to you the other week, everyone has got Beckham for not being that bright. At the end of the day, He's a good footballer.
It's a
Doesn't really
thoughtful
matter
man.
what goes on.
You know,
Yeah.
same all the time,
Pictures
same
it.
No, I just like his
You know what I
squeaky
mean?
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's fine.
So-
But what if you were a
I don't
celebrity
know,
and
I
they
mean,
sort of
football,
splashed over the front page the fact that you just, you know, didn't care less for
Left me
Zoe
girlfriend
Harris
because-
Yeah.
and her torn dress?
Zoe Harris is still upset.
Yeah, they dug her out, you know. The night Carl Pilkington reduced me to tears.
I haven't done anything that bad.
Sure.
I won't be worried.
Did you win the Dead Arm contest?
He can't
No.
actually.
Not actually singing, it's
I was thinking about that the other day. Do you think there's a chance I could get blood clots in later life?
And he toured with him. So.
Did you play that a lot?
Yeah, a hell of a lot.
Did you ever do it, but like kind of headbutting?
No,
Okay, because that would have explained something.
dead arms.
Sure.
Anymore.
No, that's it, Carl.
And it was with people's blessing, was it? You had to give them a go.
He is
Yeah.
73 though.
And you played it with girls.
No,
No, I mean,
Alright.
you know, he's a
no,
good
we're
singer.
mates.
73.
Right.
Des O'Connor.
So you were
Okay.
playing Dead Arms while she was off
Yeah.
dancing and getting
I
a
think
hold
so.
in.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
doing well.
Yeah, good luck to
You
him.
romantic, you.
That's great. And you haven't changed a bit, have you? You still do that to this day, don't you? At functions and events. Oh dear. Right, what track we got here? You brought in a track.
Yes, I just thought I'd dig out some old Elliott Smith. I've quite enjoyed his work, and this was a previous single, and the first track from his album Figure 8, Son of Sam.
No, we mustn't say that. It's a shop that she works in. Okay, in case it's...
I'm sure I read the same thing, Steve. Someone said that they read that she was studying law, and I think that I read that because she knows so much about it.
Yeah.
She decided.
XFM 104.9.
Sorry, I was going to back
Go on.
announce that track and just mention it was Elliott Smith and the track Son of Sam.
Well, I think I'd just better ask Carl a couple of quick questions about Hitler, and we can you know, get on with our lives.
Okay, we can tick that particular box.
You put that. Oh yeah. Okay, Carl.
Put that particular
it's-
dictator
it's-
to bed.
It's week 3 of his education.
Let's play a record.
You've now Rasputin and Che Guevara. I don't want to lose complete sight of those. I'll maybe ask you a couple of those in the week just to so you keep your mind on it. But Hitler,
Oh, this is a beautiful...
Tell us the story.
what have you learned?
Do you
It was
want to ask
actually
some questions?
Vanilla Sky, so a bit of
No, not
research
really.
into
Just sum it up in a minute. What do you
Can't do
think?
it in a minute.
Well, can I ask some questions then? Where was he born?
Ricky Gervais,
Austria.
Steve Merchant,
Tell us about his early life.
Claire Sturgeon.
Right,
You
he
know,
was a
if
young lad.
Carl was here.
Um,
You know what he'd want now?
He,
Brilliant.
What in his early life?
Do you want some now?
Okay.
Yeah.
he what's the name? His mum was his dad's second cousin,
Bitter End.
which is a bit weird.
XFM 104.9,
that is
Ricky
weird.
Gervais.
They had 5 kids.
He's going, yeah, it's usually first cousin where I come from. Oh, that's unfair, isn't it? There's no need for that.
Cakes from?
There
Go
was
on.
there was 5 kids, but only 2 of them, including
It's
Hitler,
nice, lovely.
It's
It's sort of,
I don't know when the deal
including
released.
it's sort of off
him and his
Africa.
sister survived. The others died at an early
But
age.
it's,
Okay.
I think
Right.
There are a lot of old
Portuguese.
people.
Anyway,
There are a lot of
so
people there.
they
There are a
grew
lot
up,
Well,
people
Carl
there.
is essentially
and the man died,
he's
his dad
50-year-old,
died,
he's
and that.
50-year-old man in the
And
body
he
of a
thought,
30-year-old.
what
I
am I
know,
gonna do?
yeah.
Because he didn't do well at school, didn't have many qualifications.
No.
Liked art,
Did he have a GCSE in history?
It was
Liked
actually
art,
really good.
right?
I
And then,
actually, I'd much prefer
so he
that
said, right, I'm going to go out to
than,
Munich.
we went to
Missed a bit out,
Greece
actually.
once, and we
Jewish
wandered
people were in
this
Austria,
place
he
by
didn't really
mistake
like
going
'em.
through this.
Okay.
And it was
He
just
thought they got,
full
you know,
of people in Everton shirts
special
and Liverpool
treatments
shirts
and
and
stuff,
just
and
drinking
just
lager. Like,
didn't like 'em.
oh,
So he went to
where's
Munich,
the fun in that?
and
I just, I can't.
he,
for the idea
joined the
of
army.
these millions,
Right.
just millions of families
Yeah.
screaming around would
And,
drive me
Leeds
mental.
is the most extraordinary
He was
place
in
I've
the
ever been
army.
to.
and he
I
got
went there with a
injured.
bunch of
We
friends.
can't slag it off, but I
So he
mean,
went to
not that
hospital, and whilst he was in
specifically,
hospital,
anything.
No, I'm not
the
saying about
World
the
War
bottom,
One
it's
ended, and he's
just-
like,
it's
oh,
just-
God,
I've never
I
been to
wanna
I was
go."
enjoying that.
Yeah, you know. So
One bar theme in the Wild
don't,
West
because you're breaking the
style.
concentration.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I want to join in on this one, just in case.
Really?
Right, go on.
So you're walking
Right,
the swing
so,
doors,
so
and there's
he's in
someone
hospital.
playing,
World
he's in
War One.
hospital.
All the staff
It gets a bit
dressed in
better.
cowboy outfits.
He's never that fit though. He's one of these
Cowboy
blokes who was
outfits,
always ill.
Serving drinks.
I've told
That
you
was on
before,
something like
but I
30
sneaked
tablets
in
a day or
buttons.
something.
We sneaked in one night.
Comes out of
We
there,
didn't know what was on. and they were
joins some
serving
other
lager
army.
and chips, and there's just loads of families and
God, you know, I knew it
lots of
all this
Northern
morning.
men in short t-shirts and big belly manager. And so we just arranged the chairs and there's sort of dancers and then
I can see it running to ground. I just see his face going. I'm not hiding the fact, am I? I joined another army and it was.
Let's try and help you.
Here's
So,
a good bit. Here's a good bit. I remember this
He did
bit.
all the jokes,
He
he
thought
did all
that war to men,
Oh, yeah.
right,
Oh, yeah,
was like
nice.
childbirth
You know, to
is to
people in the
women.
audience.
That's how
And
important
then
he thought he
his
was.
finale
Right.
was he stood
So
on the
it's
chairs
like,
on the stage
you
and
know,
he did classical
You
gaffs.
fight for 9
seriously,
months.
on
And
guitar.
at the end of it,
And
you
then
own
they
something.
went out right,
Yeah.
and he went, thanks for it. He went
So
off,
he
and I
goes
stopped
on and
clapping,
all that,
and he came back on
He's in
to get his
Berlin.
jacket.
Oh dear.
and
Oh,
he's
no.
you know he's he's fighting his way through, like, you know, trying to take over countries and that. And he does.
Blue Satin called Joint
Does he do Berlin?
Which I was loving.
Does he?
Oh, wait a minute. Is he Chancellor yet?
People were leaving.
What year is it? 35.
Let's skip the kind of climb to power. Then he's now the dictator of Germany.
Right, he's in charge, yeah.
And
this is when, you know, he gets his own back on the Jewish people and that. And he's got his own little armies.
Amazing. What an amazing night that was.
Setting fire to Jewish businesses and all this.
Yeah.
And anyway, cut a long story short, he
Please do.
when he came to like fighting Britain, came a bit sort of unstuck.
Yeah.
Right. Started fighting.
Not so easy, is it, this world domination, Adolf?
Britain was there. France was helping out.
Yeah.
Americans were helping out.
Yeah.
So, oh god,
Bit late, but yeah, go on.
he goes into a bunker in Berlin.
Yeah.
And it's all kicking off. And apparently, like, Germany sort of surrenders.
Yeah.
Says it's all over, forget it, we can't beat you. He was really annoyed with this. He thought, oh, I can't show my face around here. So
Because it would be embarrassing.
he's with his missus, who nobody knew was his wife,
Right.
Eva, in this bunker.
Yeah.
And so he said, I've had enough of this. He shoots himself. She poisons herself. And the chauffeur buries him or something, or burns him.
The studio audience, 2 are nominated.
And in all the time he was in charge, 50 million people died.
Britain, people in
So that's 1918 to 1945.
Yeah.
Between
It felt like that.
between Travis and the Red Hot Chili Peppers next week. That's fantastic.
That's remarkable. I have to say that you sort of lost your grasp somewhere along the line because you started off confidently, but you lost your
I've had a really busy week, and last night I was like whizzing through it.
Sure.
And then this morning I woke up and, you know, Suzanne had been away for about 3 days, right? I hardly spoke to her, she's been busy, I've been busy. First thing to say when I wake up, oh, just ask me some stuff on Hitler.
You are romantic.
That's great.
That's how stressful it's getting. But I knew it all this morning, honestly.
No, but that's fine. I think you've summed up the, you know, you've done that. Right, just for a bit of balance, I've got your next week's homework.
TV show.
It's the same series. There's little books. There's tiny little books, just 3 inches long by 2 inches wide.
Forgotten about.
crammed with so much information there.
Winston Churchill. There you go. You'll enjoy that. Yeah?
I'm getting a bit bored now, though. This is what happened in school.
Think of the listeners.
Did really well in infants. Once I got to secondary, lost interest.
Was it the breakup between you and Harris?
And Zoe. I'm wondering if, you've spiralled into something there.
Yeah, because it's like all these other, you know, these men of history, they always had sort of things happen in their early childhood, didn't they? Maybe yours is the Zoe Harris dress incident.
Well, let's just refer to it as the Zoe incident.
Yeah.
Winston Churchill, the bit I left out in the Hitler story, Hitler was scared of this man.
Yeah.
And I can tell you something else about Winston Churchill.
Go on.
He said he can remember being in the room.
This is Simon Cowell.
Ruben's going to win. Huh?
And he was born in a public toilet.
No, this is
Fire record.
Randy Jackson, Paula Abdul, and Simon Cowell. But Simon Cowell makes so much more sense in that context because they're all.
PJ Harvey, This Is Love, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl. Carl called me in the week, Steve. I know we're sort of banned each other from speaking to him.
What, you seem to have just disobeyed that rule?
I can't believe it. I just can't resist it. But he said, just saw a programme. He said, what's that big balloon that blew up? And the newsreader was going all mental. And I went, is that the Hindenburg? He went, yeah. Oh, I said it was a big Zeppelin. He went, yeah. He went, what happened? I said, it was helium, wasn't it? And I went, yeah. I said, it was just a huge Zeppelin full of helium. And what caused us? I don't know. It could be a spark or anything, but of course it just goes, because it's helium so flammable. And he went, now they didn't show this in the documentary, but did all their voices go funny?
Dirty Dan, they'd have gone, yeah, he's nasty.
I know, yeah.
And I went, what? He went, well, no, if you take a little bit of a little balloon of helium, your voice goes funny. So if that was like millions of gallons of it, and it blew up in the air, and and it was in the atmosphere, you'd be talking like Donald Duck. So imagine that. But what I liked, I said, this wasn't in the documentary.
No, it's an oversight. Maybe just time was against him. They didn't have time to explain.
Just like that, but that book about Hitler didn't have his one ball incident. Yeah.
Go from changing rooms.
It's annoyed me that.
What?
The old Hitler book. Just because I knew it all. Do you know what I mean? I was cycling in today. I was like, going through it all again.
Yeah.
Had it all in my head.
But that's why you should know something as opposed to just cram and have a piece of trivia that's precariously sort of teetering on the edge.
But what I don't understand,
you know what I mean? It's
well, you're not interested by it.
That's what I mean.
It's one of the most fascinating things.
You know about things you're interested in. You never forget them, do you? You know.
Yeah, I was a bit interested in it, but like I say, I mean, I'm cramming all this into a normal week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go on and, you know, you watch telly and that in the week, you've got loads of leisurely time. I'm sort of using the only little bit of rest time I have to learn, as well as trying to do all the other stuff.
He texted me yesterday about Hitler. He went, stop making me read this heavy shit. He said, I've seen in the back of this book, there's one on Elvis.
No, I mean, it is interesting, but not when you have to read it, do you know what I mean?
Right. But do you think you'd have read it in your leisure time?
To be honest.
Really?
No, you wouldn't. Would you?
Does he sign
No,
off?
What do you do in your leisure
No,
time?
he calls himself Alex now.
I like, you know, going out for food and that.
Right.
Foraging, what do you mean going out for food?
going
They come have a little hole and go
hunting.
Yeah.
This is Carl. He's hungry. He knows he has to get to the greasy spoon by 11.
Many of Carl's close friends have never made it across this road.
There was a zebra crossing installed just for the safety of Carl. Can I have a bacon butty into... Carl is enjoying his... Wow, but he has to get back.
His girlfriend's out for one as well. She's home with a PlayStation 2.
No, you don't pay for the service. You pay for the...
Wow.
Alright, Rick, it was David Bowie impressions earlier, now it's just a selection of crazy sound effects like that guy in Police Academy.
You said you wanted some. He hasn't got time to make them up. He's reading about Hitler. You heard him.
Do a machine gun or a helicopter.
We've got to do all our own sound effects. Oh. So do you want a week off? Do you not want to learn about Winston Churchill? Why don't you read it if you want to, and just if you get interested, then read on. I think
Because that's what I did with school and it didn't work.
No, you decided you didn't want to. Yeah. Okay.
So
Hasn't that taught you something?
can't we just do it like a TV series? It doesn't go on forever. We've done 3
More
weeks.
expensive than that.
Give it a rest now for like the summer.
Yeah, because most series last for 3 weeks.
£29 in there.
You know.
Yeah.
Exactly. You see,
Okay.
that's where you
What's your favourite subject in the world? What's your favourite thing in the world?
I'm going to Bristol this weekend. I am going to be. I've got
I would have
100
said,
pounds to spend, so
what,
I'm
at
just
school,
gonna get
like?
3
No,
pieces
just
of
in life.
like,
What are you interested in?
I like little interesting bits, like
Sentences.
Atlantic Ocean.
The new
It's got
single
17
from Radiohead.
What do you make of it?
quadrillion gallons of water in it.
Right.
Well, that's interesting without having to read a book.
Why is that interesting though? What are you basing that on? When you think of 17 quadrillion,
It's a lot, isn't it?
what are you imagining?
I think they're great.
Just like a big wave. Imagine
I think
how much
Phil
water.
and Ed, two of my favourites, are doing Zoe.
What's your subject
Tom
then?
York is going to be doing John
I
Kennedy.
don't know. No, it's just that. What's your favourite subject? You gave me a fact that is so.
Well, but that sort of thing, like I said to you before, you were talking about monkeys, and I said, do you know that if you give a monkey a childbirth tablet, it works on it the same way because it's kitted out the same.
Could I just say something? We weren't talking about monkeys.
What were we talking about then?
No, we were talking about something, and you went. If you give a monkey a childbirth pill, it works. That's what you said.
No, we were talking about monkeys.
We weren't. We were talking about sneezing.
Yeah, dosed up. I was a bit feverish as well in the week, and I
and you
at
went.
one point I had
If you give a monkey childbirth pills, it works.
I like to be like you're ill in the
That's
and I was tossing and turning.
They're like, yeah, we were talking about interesting things about sneezing, and I remembered an interesting fact about monkeys.
Watching daytime TV for hours, and
Anyway, half past 2, brilliant. What did happen to that bloke who used to make the same effects in Police Academy?
I don't know.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? Remember him?
I don't remember
Was he
him.
called Hightower?
They're incredible, and it's like
Yeah.
If anyone knows, give us a call.
the people who basically are waiting to die,
Right.
it would seem, or
I love that advert. Waiting to die.
Girls and boys.
You embarrassed yourself then, Gervais.
What?
Well,
became a doctor.
We've had a number of calls and emails
Yeah.
pointing out that the Hindenburg disaster was not because the Zeppelin was filled with helium, but filled with hydrogen.
Right, okay. Well, I thought about that when he told me in the week.
yeah,
but I assumed he must have got that off from the documentary. So it just went up. So that's probably why the voices didn't go through.
That was probably why it didn't feature in the documentary.
Yeah.
But it seems to me we should have thought of that. I mean, like, it's school fates and stuff where they're like filling little balloons with helium.
Yeah.
You know, there'd be all kinds of horror stories if they were just, just blowing up, left, right, and centre. I don't think you can just blow helium up like that, can you? Isn't that the point? What I'm saying is it can't be as potentially lethal as hydrogen. Helium.
What, hydrogen isn't as bad as helium?
No, helium's not as bad as hydrogen.
I don't know what you're saying, because the Hindenburg was hydrogen.
Yeah, and I'm saying, why did we think it was helium? That's crazy. You go to school fates and stuff with like little kids, and they're filling up little balloons with helium. They wouldn't have big canisters of helium, at a charity event, or a small kind of bring and buy sale if it was deadly.
Yeah, but it's not as big. I mean, when you buy those balloons at a fair, it's not as big as that.
Presumably, it's still flammable.
But it wasn't the fact how dangerous the rare gas was, or it was the fact that it was made of this thing that caught fire and just went. There was nothing. A hole in it would have been as bad. It just burned quickly and fell to the ground because the hydrogen or helium escaped. It wasn't. It was irrelevant that what the gas was.
I thought it was that there was supposed to be some kind of explosion.
Well, I don't know what it was, but the point is because the outer thing was so thin, right? The gas inside escaped and it fell to the ground.
So it just fell to the ground like when you popped a balloon.
Well, not
it didn't sort of go.
He didn't like flap all over the place and make a zany noise.
But I'll tell you what, when I was looking on the internet in the week for it, I was like trying to get a bit more info on it. Guess how many balloons it would take, helium balloons, to lift a human up?
Worse than that.
Go on.
6,000.
Considerable lump sum of cash.
Should we do it?
Brilliant. Next week, that's got to be a challenge.
Is there a sort of balloon company or some sort of party company that are willing to sponsor us to lift Carl
into the air with helium balloons
10 feet off the ground where we're tethering down, right? Is there someone willing to pay for 6,000 balloons to try and lift
We
Carl
can maybe
up?
get some kind of company to sponsor it. I'm thinking like Electrolux, if they're going to sponsor puddings.
If they're going to sponsor puddings, and celebrities, Russ Abbott, they will sponsor Carl being lifted. Heat magazine, come on. They're a big selling, very successful magazine there, and they know about Carl because they mentioned him. Heat magazine, can we have a heat balloon? Yeah? Oh,
6,000's an awful lot.
Into the air, it's the heat 6,000 Carl challenge. Lift Carl 10 feet into the air. Yeah. Come on.
What about if it was Carl and Dr. Fox? We could get 2 different balloons.
I think we need a lot more than 6,000.
It's a lot more from Fox, isn't it?
Mixed, yeah.
I'm not going to say it explicitly. Here are some ideas for
I just explained what I'm laughing at, right? We just had a call from someone saying his company would sponsor Carl, right, to be raised by all these balloons if we could have a walk-on part in the office. And we immediately went, we're worried about that sort of thing. You can't really promise that artistically. And I was worried about the legality of it as well. How can you promise someone that for personal gain that's a private and all that sort of stuff, right? And I went, I don't know in any way. Put the phone down to him, and Carl went, I looked at the fact you're more effing worried about that than me being raised 30 feet in the effing air. You started getting scared, did you? Are you worried about it?
You're quite excited about the idea of the challenge, aren't you?
I like the idea, but I want, like...
Why do you like the idea, Carl?
Oh, what if it went all wrong and we're there going, the humanity of it?
I think we need
Carl
to
is just, he's just...
I thought on the rope would pull out my trousers.
Oh, no, it's definitely got to be Dr. Fox's asking off.
Oh, God! Oh, we've got to do this!
So hang on, but let's just think about because wait a minute, we say this, but we'd have to get all kinds of health and safety people involved.
No, we wouldn't. And of course we can't. No, we
you're allowed to do it on private land, aren't you?
Look what happened to the Hindenburg!
No, but I was just saying, there was lots of people died. Listen, look, all we do is we get someone, right?
But what if he gets loose and he just floats off into the air?
And he meets his magpie that he lost. He used to peg his grifter. So I'm so excited. Listen, we've got to do this.
Please, stop and think about it. It's 60,000 balloons.
No, it's not. It's 6,000.
But 6,000 balloons? That's a lot of balloons.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Silly.
For sponsorship, people pay for... no, listen, it's worth it. There must be a company out there that'll pay for this, just so we can film it.
Is there not an easier way of just getting one big balloon? Then the challenge is there's no challenge.
No, it's got to be. It's got to have people coming up and hooking balloons. It'd be like Buckaroo, and the person who puts the balloon that actually raises him 10 feet wins a prize or something.
So hang on. So what we've got each person with like 500 balloons.
Yeah.
That's mad. Can you imagine how many balloons that is? That's ludicrous.
6,000. Yeah.
That's an awful lot of balloons.
I don't know. There must be someone that could do this. Oh look, people have walked on the moon for Christ's sake. We can raise Carl Pilkington with some balloons.
Yes, but they had a NASA budget. We've got XFM behind us.
Yeah.
Balloons are cheap. You can get about a pack of 25 for about 150.
Right, fine.
No, true. Yeah, the helium though, Carl. You can't just like attach yourself to a pack of balloons.
No, but
What, you think we blow them all up?
with helium.
Right.
But then we can do something with the balloons, can't we? Like release them afterwards.
Oh, we'll release them back into the wild. Brilliant, as a sign of peace. Fly, British, fly, be free.
I am so excited. I've not been so excited about until I thought that Robin Ince was going to stay in my cupboard for £1,000. Look, we've got to do this.
6,000 balloons. I don't think it's going to happen. That's an awful lot of balloons, and I just don't see how we can tether them all to Carl. He's a small man.
No, but
You go at different lengths, don't you?
yeah, exactly. Carl knows.
But you think about the logistics of this.
Oh, someone must know. There must be a company. There's a bloke willing to do it. I know he doesn't know the technology of it. He's willing to sort of stuff like.
And a company just has access to helium like that.
But we can do this. Come on, London.
Someone's done
Londoners.
It was on the internet already, so someone obviously has done it.
Yeah.
So they didn't say, oh, we can't get hold of the balloons.
No, they probably worked it out, didn't they?
Carl, you're more excited about this than anything else. About your education, about your exam results. You're so excited.
And we'll have a little rope. We'll like flying a little kite, a little Carl. Let's go,
Carl, what will you wear? Like a one-piece jumpsuit?
Yeah, it'd be
With sponsorship all over it?
Oh, it'd be great. You got a Jackie Stewart, and just as you go, your little face. Oh my God, I'm not going to sleep until this is done. This is the most exciting thing ever.
Only 10 feet.
10 feet, yeah. And
We need some kind of rope to sort of tether you to the ground.
Yeah.
I don't want you sort of flying off.
This is going to be great. And you have a little crush helmet and everything, and little Dee boppers on the crush helmet, like it's a little flying ant.
Definitely.
We give him a little. Oh my God, can we give you an outfit like little wings and everything?
Can we paint your face with like children's
No, I'm
paint?
not
Yeah.
doing all that.
Why?
Oh, because that would be silly.
Oh please, Carl, do this. Do it. We'll do it for charity. We'll do it for charity. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is
We'll do it for children in need.
Please, just phone in if you can help us. Lift Carl up 30 feet. Let's say 30
I think
feet.
it has to be a decent.
Yeah, it has to be a decent
Is
height.
there a world record? Because we want to break that.
Yeah, I want to break that. What is the world record for raising a man by balloons?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, let's just finalise details here. We've got
I'm so excited.
email address ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
What's the number? What's the number?
Number, Carl?
08700 800 1234.
Lift again.
Carl.
Give it again.
Lift Carl.
08700 800 1234.
Sponsored by Heat Magazine.
And
or something
maybe
like
even if you've just got an idea about how we might be able to organise it, how we might be able to get it done, if you've got contacts, anything, just get into me.
that. Oh, that'd be great. I'm gonna play a Beatles track for a song for the lovers.
Oh man.
It's off the Help album. It's You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. Oh, just think of his little face.
As I came in. Like Henry VIII.
Nothing changes.
Oh dear, never mind.
Well, XFM was nearly the end of the show. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant. We've enjoyed your company. Carl, we're going to try and get Carl in the air. Anyone that can help us, taken up with helium balloons. Our friend Johnny Mango called again, and apparently the record's 11,000 feet. Carl is getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah, the world record is 11,631 feet raised by a hot air balloon.
How tall's Canary Wharf?
It's 11,631
Steve
feet.
Merchant,
Exactly.
Sturgis.
I don't know,
Competition
Carl.
time.
Is it how much higher?
It's a long way.
Songs of Phrase.
Because I'm like 6 foot something.
Yeah, think of that. Just look at Steve.
Alright.
Yeah.
But you can change your record. You could say, well, the sort of balloons are the one with Mickey Mouse on it. Or something.
Yeah, could I just say something? That man did 11,000 feet, but he wasn't naked. All right?
Come on, Carl.
Your 30 feet will be the world record for naked ballooning. Yeah?
No, I've got 5 pence.
Think about it.
All right, it's for charity.
Well, thank you for listening, everyone. We are going to raise Carl. We are going to raise Carl. And after Carl said, just to think, my teacher said I'd never be a high flyer. So this is your chance, Carl, to shine, to fly.
It'll be brilliant. This is a final song for the ladies. Ben and Sebastian, we've not heard them for a while. This is for, it's actually a B-side or a triple side or whatever you call it. Track 3 on a single called Jonathan David. This is the beautiful The Loneliness of the Middle Distance Runner. Goodbye.
If you're 16, 17, you look old enough, you've got a bit of facial hair, go for it.
Yeah. Or wear a long beard.
Yeah, whatever.
No, we're not going to condone that. Please be 18 years old.
Our Freaks Electric, Richard Atkins, Sugar Babes on XFM 104.9, Steve.
Absolutely.
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello.
Carl, the producer. 7 minutes past 1 of a Saturday, and what a lovely Saturday it is.
It is indeed.
It looks nice and bright, but it's deceptive, because I went out, and I just had a t-shirt on, and I had my jumper on me. I got out there, and I thought, this is chilly. I had to pop the jumper on.
Oh, no.
So, just be careful. If you're just, looking out the window thinking, I'll go outside, pop a jumper on or a jacket, because it looks nice, but it is a little bit colder than it looks.
Rick, can I ask, were you wearing the jumper around your waist, tied with a knot, or did you have it over your shoulders, like maybe you just jumped off a yacht?
I popped it round my waist, and I'll tell you what, I tucked my t-shirt in for neatness and comfort.
Lovely.
But I know that's a little bit dorkish, so I was trying to hide the belt line.
Okay.
So then I popped the jumper on, didn't have to worry about it.
Did you go with the double knot?
I didn't,
because that can loosen if you're not careful, especially if you're carrying bags or you're busy on the tube.
I know, but I wouldn't mind that, as long as I didn't lose it, as long as I saw it loosen and fall, I'd pick it up, and then clean it. Not in the washing machine, no. I'd pop it in a cold wash soak, right, and then leave it out on a few towels or something, or pop it over the radiator.
So what's the problem with putting it in a hot wash?
Well, it can cause shrinkage.
Oh no!
So coming up, we've got loads of tunes. We're going to be playing them, some of the best bands around, some new ones, some old ones. Might even play some Adam Ant. We don't know yet.
Let's have Bandit Drum Boy, though, shall we, Carl? Current single.
Illegal. Here's to the rules.
Cheers. I don't know why. I'm just in the mood for toasting things.
Badly Drawn Boy there. Yeah. Silent Sigh. Is that the one with the duck?
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently he stopped wearing his hat around because he keeps getting recognised.
And
he's going to not wear his hat when he doesn't want to get recognised. Maybe pop it in the wash.
Magazine, which comes
be careful, let's just have a kind of a light cold rinse.
Yeah, light cold rinse, soak it, right, because it's woolen, right, and then just leave it out on a towel, or, maybe near the immersion heater, or over a radiator, or even the radiator. It can cause that sort of, damaging to the fibres of the wall. What?
It's strictly limited to 9,500.
Oh, right.
Badly Drawn Little Boy, he's going to call it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well done. It's a sort of satire.
I'd like to see that as a headline in a tabloid.
Deliver your money all your life. Now, going on.
Can you explain why that's funny?
Don't panic, Carl. I'm a professional. Don't worry.
What's your concern, Carl?
What's your concern?
I would love that poor piece of shit for 100 quid.
You can say.
You can't.
You can.
This is so unprofessional.
It's what? What have we
I think
done?
this blurb will change your mind.
What, talking about wool?
Well, I'm just okay.
Come on, Carl, what's the problem?
What's the problem?
Dearest Rose.
You say.
I'll have it.
And she's portrayed
great,
here
and he's so scared.
Come on, Carl, what's tell us?
I don't know all the ins and outs, so I don't want to get into it.
Bert.
What?
Dearest Rose is portrayed
Well,
here
look,
holding
you can't-
a beautiful
people are
bouquet
perplexed
of
now.
roses
What's the
given to
thing,
her by
Carl?
her
What's the thing?
lover.
What are you worried
She
about?
is gently
Say.
touched
Is it an
them
email
and placed them in her
that's been
chestnut
received by the head of
Yeah,
XFM?
you've got
She's
the email.
wearing a
You can
garment
talk
of
about it. You can say what it.
Okay.
Without
She's
it.
as well. She's stuffing them
I don't
up
understand
her
it.
head.
Please know that under under a ruling at the Old Bailey, any
Yeah.
reference to Adam Ant's state of mental illness in any news
From
report will
beneath it,
constitute
you
a
can
breach
see
of the
her
ruling and therefore lead to serious
dainty
action from his
shoe,
lawyers.
That's right, and that's true. So we can't talk about that. You can play his records
That is
and
brilliant.
sing his classic songs.
sing songs.
Yeah, it's best just to leave it.
Yeah, well, that's what. Carl was a little bit worried.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
that
way I
can
was
be
going
yours,
to
and I
mention
think
that
you'll
or
agree, it's
influence
just
anything, and I
I
totally
mean,
agree with
the best one I've
Doc,
ever
so
seen.
don't panic,
There was
Carl.
That
one
should have
that
never
was
been sent to you.
a doll.
Why?
Right,
Because it's
like a
like,
really
you know,
doll, a
accidents
horrible,
happen.
scary
Go on then.
When
doll.
things like that
and
happen,
it was something
right,
like,
you know,
£100.
you've been told not to mention it,
And
Yeah.
and you're
it
like a little
said,
kid.
Yeah.
call
and
your
once
family
things are in your
and
head,
tell them it's a
Yeah.
girl.
It's difficult not to mention it. I
And
mean,
I just imagine
when,
this
when I
45-year-old
was a
woman
kid,
with
Yeah.
bunches and
Right.
rouge on her hair,
Me,
still dressed in her
my
ballerina
mum's
outfit, going,
sister,
"I've had
Hazel,
a baby, mother."
Right.
was seeing another bloke.
It's a bloody
Um,
baby.
It's
Why
weird
are you
'cause she's
aiming? It's a
lesbian now.
doll.
me.
That's really weird.
I mean,
That must have been an interesting Christmas.
But anyway, I've seen this bloke, and he looked like Ken Dodd, apparently.
He looked like Ken Dodd.
Looked like Ken Dodd, so people said don't mention it because it gets on his nerves when you like meet him and you go,
I remember seeing one which just was extraordinary. I mean, again, I'm thinking specifically of the people that buy it.
I was introduced
It was
to him.
about
First
3
thing
foot
he said,
tall.
nice to meet
It was,
you,
I
Ken.
think, it was a baby. It was like a
Did you
sort
do
of-
it as a
was like
joke,
kind
or
of
did you-
one-year-old
No,
baby.
because
This
you
is
know when you
good.
know that he's like, I'm not allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Say that. I mustn't say that.
outfit.
And then
Yeah.
I saw him and I thought, Jesus,
The
doesn't look
leather
like him.
cap.
Came out.
Was it Doddy who turned her into a lesbo? Did
Yeah.
he?
in the wild bunch.
Unbelievable.
Oh
dear.
I mean, the scarf. I saw
Possibly.
recently.
She
we
started
did a
going out
film
with
for
Esther
it was
Rantzen
wedding
then.
rings.
which is weird out of the frying
What
pan
was the
into
story
the
with the
fire.
lesbianism then? How did she announce that to everyone? What age was she when she realised?
Well, I mean, we're not a close family, do you know what I mean? We're not
No.
a family who keeps in touch with everyone. And I think Mum called her up one Christmas
Will you be my
and sort of said,
wife?
you know,
How's the diddy men?
Yeah, that's nutty act.
And she said, oh, no, I'm not, I don't do that anymore.
Must be that they're
I'm knocking
preying
about
on, like
with
you say. I mean, unbelievable.
Sandra or whatever.
It's those sort of
Right.
houses that
It's like,
I
oh,
remember.
Not big butch Sandra with the big earrings and the
going in as a
skinhead.
child sometimes. You met a
Used to
friend
live
from
down the
school,
road from you.
and
I
you'd go into
don't
their
know.
house.
Used to
I
get
met her.
and it was
Doc
like a
Martens
shrine.
wholesale.
I remember
That's
some people
Sandra.
kept the
But she
polythene
lived,
on
she
their
had a
PP
haunted
suite.
house.
There
Go
was
on.
some when you weren't
Um,
allowed in
who,
the front
Sandra?
room.
No,
Like
Hazel.
you couldn't
Right.
go in
This-
the
is
front
this before
room.
she was a
And
lesbian
it's
or
sort of you
not?
look around and there's all
Before.
these
Okay.
dolls and,
And
and it's just like
there was a bike in the
oh
hall and the
God,
pedals used to
scary.
go back
There was a what in the hall?
That's handy, isn't it? Oh, it's great. Don't worry, we won't do anything.
So, sorry, no, there was. I want to know about the haunted house. There was a bike in the hall.
There was a bike in the hall and the
Because I'll tell
pedals
you
used to go
this,
backwards on
Queen's
their
never
own.
coming
I
to
know.
town.
And also,
Tony Blair's not
shoes
going to
used
pop
to
in and
stick
out
to the
of the
wall.
wall covered in
Did
grease.
they? Yeah.
Shoes used to stick to the wall.
Yeah.
Dungaree.
That sounds like
I
a
won't sit
all
down.
household.
You can't
Yeah.
sit down.
Oh,
Tony. I've been
dear.
waiting for 40 years. Look, I've had a baby. It's not a real baby. It is a baby.
Is this story
Why do you hate me? Oh, God. Call your friends and tell them it's a girl.
So if you want to discuss and report anything from
Lars, and there she goes.
you'll
What a
get,
great start to a show.
commemorative
We've had 20
I
minutes of
know.
some of
I tell
the
you what,
best
if I
banter,
ever
chatter,
win
and
the lottery, I'm
music
gonna buy
and
all them up.
anecdote
I'm
anywhere
gonna
on the
in one
dial.
bow.
You're damn right. High five.
Yeah. Oh, what are we talking about? Now, well, I love that track. It's lovely. They've got a bit of the Liverpool gene pool, haven't they? That sort of doddy. You know what I mean? I like the
Tell your
Scouse
friends,
sort of
mate.
look.
Tell
You know,
your
the Cilla
married Cliff
Black and
Richard.
the
Look,
Stan
I'm married.
Boardman.
It's a
Yeah,
place.
it's sort of it's sort of happy and teeth and ears. And, you know what I
Happy
mean?
and teeth and ears.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant description.
Yeah.
Happy and teeth
Mike
and
Reed.
ears.
Yeah, that's just 3 of my friends.
So is this Mike Reed the
Now,
DJ or Mike
we've
Reed
got a great
the,
track
the
lined up,
insane
haven't we?
strip
That's
artist?
boring.
DJ.
So I'm going to go off.
And
Now,
the
I'm
other
not
shot
ashamed.
just
As you know,
prancing
me and
around
Steve
the
aren't
nude
worried
with a feather
about
boa on
being part of a
saying,
trend or
I'm
you
married
know,
to
being
Mike Reed or
trendy or
something.
jumping about.
She was
Steve
obsessed
particularly
with
doesn't worry about
That's
like
not
looking
I mean,
good.
she's still looking
Or,
good.
no, I'm saying,
Aye.
as a compliment, he doesn't worry about walking along like that, or you know.
Well,
as-
this is a love triangle.
No. But I'm saying you don't mind the insults freak boy or goggle eye or
swore off the Dutch back.
you know what I mean? Or a new phrase that's been coined because of Steve's face, walk the frogs back.
Who's saying that?
Just a lot of friends and that. But I mean,
My friends.
yeah, a lot of
I know what I do.
lot of
I do
people
what
you
any
can
name
gentleman
names?
do in that
I
situation,
can't
and
really.
No promises, you
wrestling
can.
I can't
Won't
really.
mess anyone up.
I think it's
in a
typical.
hotel room.
Looks good.
It does look
It's
good.
waterproof, Rick, and it's also stylish. So I wear nothing underneath. So it's tight to the skin. It gets sticky
Oh,
in bad weather.
is that why you sort of rustle?
But what's the
Coldplay,
is there a view?
XFM,
No, they just say.
Because I'm pretty trendy guy, but I, as you say, I cut my own trends. You know, I make my own style. You know, that, consequently, the pipe. You don't feel that's an affectation?
It's not bad.
I don't think. I think
Coldplay.
because you're young and tall,
Happy egg.
the pipe looks a little bit silly.
Well, that's about
Go
it
on.
from us, isn't it?
I mean, I know you're worried about
I didn't miss Carl at all.
because we've already lost the trilby.
Well, I'm worried because pipes are going to die out. I mean, this is the problem. There's no young people now who are taking up the pipe as a smoking device.
Is there anyone? Is there anyone under the age of what you say?
Oh, we said this before, and I don't think there was no one. I think there was some nutty old woman who found it and said I smoke a pipe.
Could you?
But I'm talking about, you know, because years ago it was like an Oxbridge student, you know, you'd be at Cambridge or something, you'd have a lovely pipe, and a tweed suit, you'd be there studying. That was, you know, and that was the young gent always smoked a pipe, but no one is now. I'll tell you this, in the year 2050, there'll be no pipes. They won't exist.
But just,
Well, I
I just
think
want
all
to see his crushed little face
drugs like
Monday.
nicotine
if you can send as many emails as
and we
possible saying
won't be
this
allowed to
show
think our own
was
thoughts. We'll have to
better
live in the
without
sewers like
Carl.
eating
I
rat
will be
burgers or
grateful.
something,
And I
won't
promise
we?
I'll tell you the
And it will
truth
have to
next week. Didn't you do
download
that
our
for us?
memories
I
or
think so.
something.
Oh,
probably.
God.
And I
But I'll be a rebel, Rick. I'll just
No.
be down there listening to jazz.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
You'll just have a little
Yeah.
chin,
Send
mate,
some
and
to me, 'cause
you'll be
he'll
going out
read
with a
those
big
next
fat
week
man
as
with a
well.
big
Yeah.
toe
Ricky
grot,
Dr.
you'll be,
Vase's
and you'll be
And just
touching him.
pass them to me
But
as
well, I
well.
think it's a beautiful woman.
And just pass them on.
You will, yeah. And I'll be
What's his
fighting
one?
with the rebel underground.
Because obviously
No, you
Andrew's
won't.
I will.
listening, so he
No,
knows it's
I
a
will.
joke. But
I'll be dead, won't I?
You'll be dead, yeah.
In fact, could you send a load?
I'll be dead.
Unless you, because obviously you're becoming quite wealthy now. You're becoming very rich now,
Just
obviously,
saying,
from all your,
I'll have
celebrity
my brain-
endorsements.
I'll have my brain put into a robot made of titanium, and
it's not big.
Would you be cryogenically frozen?
I would, but I'd leave myself out on a towel.
Right.
Never, because if you do it too quickly, there is shrinkage.
You've got to be careful. Did you read in the paper this week? This is true. Apparently the world's oldest man, who's 113, lives in some little part of Japan. Like little island in Japan. But apparently, the world's oldest woman also lives in exactly the same place. Now, I don't know if she's since died, but she lived in the same place as well. Do you not think there's something suspicious going on there? I mean, isn't that a bit eerie?
I'm thinking, have you ever seen them together? And has he ever found lipstick in his bag? I think that'll be one and the same.
I wonder if it's something like, what brought Godzilla back? There's some kind of... There's some antics over there.
No, there might be, they're sort of like, yeah. Although, just hearing some of Carl's stories about school, there's something going on there where he lives.
Yeah.
Did you say you did live near a sort of nuclear plant or
I
something?
found out it wasn't a nuclear plant, it was a chemical plant.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Really? And is that really true?
What colour was the
Yeah.
tap water in your area?
It's better than it is in London. I was
Really?
talking to someone about this the other day.
Yeah.
Water in London's ropey. And I use one of them water filters.
Do you really?
And the guy down in the office was saying it's a waste of time though, because they only work for a couple of water, like you fill your jug twice, and then the water's going through the same muck, isn't it?
That's true enough.
But it's not. If it's not getting through, it's not getting through.
No,
If it's a filter, it doesn't matter, does it?
Still not good though.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good point.
So are you just throwing it away based on what that bloke said?
Did he sell you another one that he had on him? Did he
a better updated model?
Yeah. Did he have a suit and a?
When you say, like, he works here, was he actually hanging around outside?
Yeah. Did he have a suitcase
with a
lots
cart?
of these in? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dear.
So just go back to insults briefly.
Go on.
You know, saying,
Oh no, I see that.
Goofy, that's not
No,
fair.
because that's what he said. It's in my head.
What do you mean he said?
No,
When did he say that?
No, I mean,
When did you call me goofy?
No, he didn't. He said about what's in my head. No, when it's
come
oh,
on.
come off it. Don't
What? Who's
start.
calling me goofy?
No,
I'm not even goofy. Goggle-eyed's fair enough.
Yeah, but you can sort your
Lanky.
account, I can't.
What do you mean how can I sort my look out? I'm not even goofy. That's not fair.
You've got the proper features.
What?
You just need sorting out a bit. I can't help it if my hair's not good.
I noticed the other day when Carl was sitting on your knee having his picture taken. It's a long story, right? He's got a completely spherical head. It's slightly too small. I'm not being funny because I mean, I'm not perfect. But he's got a completely spherical little head. He looks a little bit like a baby hamburger. You know hamburger off McDonald's? He looks like a little baby hamburger. And it's sort of quite put upon. It's
Suzanne thinks I look like that thing in that Dulux advert. You know when the woman pulls the head off that?
That little plasticine
Yeah,
morph type
and then they
thing.
make a new ad for it. And it's like a little ad.
really.
That's your girlfriend saying it.
I know. Anyway, listen, let's get back to business here. This is a great track. It's America by Simon and Garfunkel. This is where I started saying we don't care about being trendy and all that. That was it.
Do you want to notify us before we ask you questions?
I'll give it to us, lads. Go on.
It would have just been nice if you would have warned me you were going to ask me about it. Just
Strokes last night, XFM 104.9. We're flying now. 35 minutes into it. No real hiccups. I don't think that
so far.
It's just going really well. My name's Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve.
Hello there.
Carl. All right. Coming up soon. White Van Man. White Van Carl. We asked Carl questions that the Sun asked someone else.
Exactly.
This is a good feature.
It's a great feature.
I'll be testing Carl on the new re-education of Carl, as you know. He got a GCSE
It's the last one, innit?
in history. It was the last heavy sort of one, yeah.
No.
So Winston Churchill. Well, yeah, because we're going on to more sort of metaphorical and metaphysical sort of pursuits, aren't we?
Not that book.
Yeah, that's the Aesop's
Can't read
Fables.
that in a week.
You don't have to read it. Just choose the ones about the foxes eating penguins. You'll like that. Steve, over to you.
Thanks very much. I don't think we've made much progress yet on sending Carl into sort of into the air with the.
No, this has gone a bit ballistic,
Gone off
actually.
the idea.
Oh no, shut
No,
up!
don't. You haven't gone off yet.
We've inflamed the imagination of the capital. There's people offering left, right, and centre, and I think it's a good idea. But I think we should you know, make a day of it. I think we should send you up in some balloons, right? Maybe you know.
Well, hang on. Before we carry on, let's explain what happened because people might not have listened last week.
I don't believe that.
There are one or two, Rick.
I don't believe that.
People who were
Name
ill,
them.
maybe out of the country.
Okay.
Yeah, so last week we discovered, was it that 623, is it 6,000?
No, I read that 6,000 balloons filled with helium can lift a bloke off the floor.
I think that's too many. I think that's too many. I think we could do it for less, certainly.
Well, anyway, listen, there are various organisations which actually exist already that can provide this kind of entertainment, this kind of fun. I mean, I didn't realise there was a whole kind of market for this already, but apparently there
Nor
is.
did I, no.
Incredible. Anyway, so we're going to try and track one of them down. We're going to see if they can organise it so that you, Carl, can float into the air. We need to get you, what, is it at least 11 feet up?
Yeah, if it's
And I think certainly higher. I mean, I can't remember what the record is, but it's quite a long way.
11,000.
11,000 feet.
Yeah, but I think they're all official. I want to do it with like those little balloons you get for a quid at the zoo. Or
I don't
something.
think that can be right, health and safety wise. I don't think that can be healthy.
I think if we get him to sign something, which I will.
Okay.
I think we'll cover ourselves.
But yeah, certainly we're thinking of maybe making it a bit like, is it Tea in the Park?
Yeah.
Capital FM.
Yeah, the big event.
We could get sort of Steps, at least H from Steps can come down and host the event.
I mean, I don't mind comparing it. Steve's gonna do. Steve's learning to sort of like scratch and mix and beat match, and I mean, you're getting pretty.
I'm making a lot of progress. Yeah.
You are going to be a turntablist.
Yeah.
Steve's never learnt an instrument, which he regrets. You know, and you know, he's a modern lad, and he's using turntables as his instrument.
I just got 2 turntables on the microphone, and so far, I mean, seriously, I'm cutting out big stuff. No, don't laugh, because it is mental, the kind of stuff I'm coming out with. And I'm scratching, I've got the beats, you know, matching.
Can you imagine that?
Shut up! It's that.
No.
Look at the Chemical Brothers, for goodness sake. If you're talking about freaks, look at those things. Man alive!
At least you cut your hair at Gavin.
You know that they used to kind of at least faintly appear in their videos. So this one is just some shots of like what you see from outside a train. To them, that is more glamorous and exciting, apparently, than seeing the lads themselves in the video.
Who do you think's cooler to look at, Steve or the Chemical Brothers?
Steve.
Definitely, yes. You're absolutely right, Carl, and that's the first sensible thing you've said for a long time.
If I was to work with Steve on some music, if I had the choice, I think Steve would look better on an album cover.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you do? Would you change him at all? What would you do with his image?
I'd put him in the distance, so
I can't believe this is...
No, just so you don't look as tall, that's doing you a favour.
You know, I was on the... This is true. I was on the tube, right, coming in to meet Gervais the other day, and I was wearing a suit, and my mobile phone slipped out of my pocket, and it landed on the seat, and I didn't realise this. And as I was about to get off, some bloke who was sat there like an old guy, he picked up the phone, he went, "Oi, Lanky, you dropped your mobile phone." And I was like, well, I thank you for pointing out I dropped my phone, but did you have to do the Lanky?
But you knew he meant. I bet you turned round straight away. It worked.
Knew he meant, Steve.
But
he's done you again.
But I was the only person stood up. It was a fairly empty train.
Was there any other lanky people there?
No. Well then. No, but my point was there was no one else at all who was about to exit the train.
Okay, so he didn't need lanky.
He could have gone, "Excuse me, sir," or "Oi, you," anything, but "Oi, Lanky."
I know.
It's that thing, though, isn't it? That's what I'm talking about. You say the thing that you don't want to say. It's like me with Ken Dodd and Will.
I think he wanted to say this. I think he took pleasure in it.
I think he went, "That bloke's lanky. I shouldn't say that." Yeah, I should. Oi, lanky. What's he gonna do? Yeah. Do you want your phone back or not?
But this balloon thing, anyway, it's got a bit out of hand.
Why is it out of hand? What are you worried
it's
about?
funny. I just want to. I want to sort of like tie them all to the back of your belt. So as you go up there, you sort of tip forward slightly, so you're going up slightly upside down.
We could paint some advertising on your bald head.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do that, Lanky.
That'd be great.
Here he comes.
No, I mean, last week it was just a bit of fun about going like just lifting my feet off the ground.
No.
And that's a big difference to what it's got now.
No, okay, I'll tell you what, we'll do 100 feet in the air, and I'll hold on to the rope.
But we'll do it at Wembley Arena and we'll sell tickets. But it'll be for charity, Carl.
It'll be for charity.
No, we'll have lots of underprivileged kids coming along to see it, you know.
It's like... you know, I like
one of my favourite things
karaoke, but I wouldn't want to go on Stars on the Rise.
Sure.
And it's got out of hand. That's how it's sort of it's grown too big. I don't.
Who would you do if you were on Stars on the Rise?
I'd do that.
Moby.
No, that Jack the Knife song.
Jack the Knife.
in the winter.
Old Mac Heath. That one, yeah?
It's Mac the knife.
To keep my hands
That's what I do.
But which
He do a hip hop version.
but which of the many singers would you impersonate? You can't. It's not the song, is it? It's the singer.
You could do Jimmy Somerville, I think, quite well.
Yeah, Somerville you'd be good at.
Moby.
party and they were leaving.
Did Morph bring out a
I
single?
don't think Morph did.
Didn't he?
No, I'm not sure.
Sure, didn't he have a theme tune? Did Morph? Phone in if you think Morph.
Morph didn't speak, Rick. Let
Didn't
him
he?
sing.
Morph hardly had any features.
True.
Yeah. But seriously, no, I'll start this. You're right. I've got to really.
I just remembered that my favourite Beatles song is "Come Together."
Yeah. Now we're going to stop this now, pal, because it's childish.
Express 2 featuring David Byrne, Lazy, XFM 104.9, Quarter to 2, I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve's Got the Sun.
Yes,
We're just going to be doing White Van Carl, where we ask Carl the questions the Sun asked some other bloke.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because we think Carl's got more to say than anyone on anything. Carl only tells the truth, by the way. Just remember that, listeners. Off you go.
Yes, well, today's White Van Man in the Sun is John Slade. He owns his own door maintenance company. His answers are very informative, I have to say. But Carl, what do you make of the Channel 4 producer, aged 30, who duped to school into believing he was a teenager for a documentary? Are you familiar with this story?
No, go on.
Well, basically, a 30-year-old guy kind of fooled the school into thinking he was a pupil for a secret documentary. The school's outraged. Do you think that that's, for you, should anything go when it comes to making TV?
I think I've said to you before, there's loads of kids at my school. I remember being in the first year, and kids who, what year do schools go up to? I was in the first year. What is it?
11?
5?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, first year of infants and juniors.
No, secondary school.
11.
Right. Year 11.
Yeah.
Kids have beards and
No,
stuff.
not year 11. They're 11 when they first go to secondary school.
Right, well I'm 11. The kids at the older end.
Well, there's the
Well, it
fifth form, and
depends.
then
You
there's
can
the
leave when
sixth
you can
Right.
leave when you're 16, I think, can't you now?
Right, well kids who were 16
Yeah.
looked old. They did have beards. I remember going there and thinking some of them were teachers.
That's libelous.
I think he's answered that. Next one, what's the next one?
Tattoos and everything. I think that's kids in the earlier years.
What do you make of the fact that Mariah Carey's £38 million payoff has cost EMI staff their jobs, and we're talking 1,800 EMI staff who have lost their
What
jobs?
do you think of that?
It was a pianist.
Yeah,
Well, it's true.
I mean, is that silly money, Mariah Carey, on 38 million?
Do you like Wayne
She doesn't need that much.
She doesn't need that much.
What's your opinion
She
on
has to dress nice, though.
I don't know his work.
It's not her fault. I'd say
No, that's fine.
it's bad business.
We asked your opinion,
Okay.
and you've given it, and that's all we can
EMI, did you say?
Yes.
Right,
No
they've got
opinion,
rid of
Wayne
them
King.
staff.
If you-
Mariah
if you're a
Carey's
fan of
left.
wanking at home,
Who's going to do the
Please
work?
get in touch.
Do you think Mariah should come back and do some temping?
Well, they should have got a loan and paid her.
You know, if you
Do
like
you know what I mean?
wanking or,
Vicious circle, that.
Right.
Have you done a business degree, or have you?
Commerce.
You did commerce. Where did you do that? What did you do that?
School, I'd learned how to fill out a cheque, pay a bill, and I think I had a trip round Kellogg's.
Did you get an O level or GCSE?
We know you didn't.
You know,
But was there a commerce exam, or was it just a division of
can't
maths?
remember.
What did he fill out a
Was it a
check?
subset of
It was an
maths?
option. It was like, if you want to do it, you can.
What was it? Fill out a check,
Pay a bill.
pay a bill.
Have a visit round
I met round
Kellogg's.
Kellogg's and I saw my sister's boyfriend there at the time. He sorted me out with some variety packs.
Really? What was in them?
You know, Rice Krispies and
Good stuff.
Cocoa Pops.
Space Dust or whatever it is.
Space Dust.
So, sorry, that wasn't Ken Dodd, no. That was someone else, wasn't it? That was an aunt.
Yeah, that wasn't Special K. Oh
What
dear.
about this then? Home Secretary David Blunkett admits that muggers rule some streets.
Weird this, because when I was out with you,
I don't believe it's going to be weird, whatever you say,
no,
Carl. Go on.
when we were in that pub that night and we got talking about muggers and that, the tip is what I tend to do, because I nearly got mugged once.
You what? You nearly got mugged
I
once.
nearly got mugged,
Yeah.
but I tried this technique of acting a bit mental.
Right, and how did you act mental?
Well, this guy wanted me trainers, and I was in Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester. It was quite late one night, and he come up and said, "I want them trainers." I said, "Do you want them?" I said, "I worked hard for these." I said, "How dare you come to me asking?" And I got a bit livid, and I said, he looked at me like, "Oh my God, he's got a right one here," and he left me.
Were you acting mental, or were you just mental?
No, I put it on a bit.
Were you not petrified then?
well, you don't think about it, do you, when you're sort of in the eyes of danger?
Well, not you. Clearly, you're a brave man. So what did you say?
I just went a bit mad. I just kind of, because he said he wanted the trainers and they were dear ones at the time.
Can I just ask Carl a quick
And
question?
I just, no,
why
you're
does
not
he
having
swear so
these.
much on radio?
So
No,
Prof,
no, no.
did you, I said, I
Carl,
wanted
did you
these
see that film
trainers.
last night?
Yeah.
Gay
And, you know,
Lord
went on to
Saying
work at printers and I don't enjoy it. And, you know, I put in all these hours and that and I have to
What are you
cycle
watching
home
that
for
for?
about 5 miles and that.
Yeah.
Did he give you his trainers?
Yeah.
Did he have a knife?
I
or
just
anything?
left. No, I didn't get that.
You-
Didn't get
you-
that
you're
far.
always
Well, that's very
believing
brave of you, Carl.
Yeah, it's
That's good
good.
advice, though. Just that
Like
mental.
Gay Lord Saying that.
No. Oh, no.
See, what's it? Should he tried it the
That
other
is
night?
actually the official way of
Who,
thinking.
Liza Minnelli?
That's how Oscar
Yeah.
Wilde got caught.
She said, I've worked hard for
Yeah,
these
well, we got
diamonds.
evidence. Oh, I was like, anyway,
Yeah.
cheers, my lad.
Not easy being the daughter of
Oscar.
Judy Garland.
Film last night.
You don't know what it's
No,
like.
Take him away.
Finally,
Take him
apparently, there was a crook that got a job,
Is that
a
like-
security job at
Yeah.
Heathrow.
Official way.
Yeah.
Right, he was a
Children
crook and he
need
got a job at
lots,
Heathrow.
Crook.
As robbers steal another £2 million.
Watched a bit of it.
Apparently security down there is lax.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Is that concern for you?
It's the worst.
Is this
thing
another-
ever. I mean, it just.
Yeah.
I've said
2
this before.
million.
The
Yeah.
thing about criminal need, it makes the whole country.
Why
and
is all this
BBC One
money
for
at the
one day
airport?
into just one big school fete?
It's those sandwich shops. You know how they're really expensive, the sandwiches in, like, when you're on a plane. They're like £8.50 for tuna, which is ludicrous.
Yeah.
That's basically the reason.
What do you mean, why is all this money at airports?
What is it doing there?
Just
Why
Have a go, have a go. No, have a go answering this yourself.
To taxation that we should, you know.
Why is anything at an
going
airport?
through this nonsense
going
of seeing
somewhere.
people
Or
from
coming in from
West
somewhere.
End musicals who aren't selling.
Yeah,
come
but
out
money
with
you can
songs.
sort it out
Yeah,
through the
of course
bank,
you
like
are.
phone
But it's
banks
just-
and
they
that.
may as well, 'cause I know
Have you done
they-
commerce?
at one point, going round
You
the
know a lot
filling the
about
bucket,
paying bills and writing out
all the
checks.
members of the
Oh,
audience
yeah.
to put loose change in the bucket.
Tell us about
That's
Kellogg's.
national television.
What was it like? What was in the factory? Was it just like squashing bits of corn and...
Pretty boring, really. Just loads of
get
conveyor
paid?
belts,
I don't know if you've done it for
boxes
I know-
of
you know, there's a lot
cornflakes
of people
everywhere.
who go
Just
on
what
there.
you
All
imagine.
the pop acts that go on
Yeah.
there, they're all
I
So
don't
is
know
it
what
more,
ones
this
are
is where
there.
you might be working? This is where you're likely to work. if you
Possibly.
leave
There was
school.
2 trips. There was that and a trip to
Yeah.
Manchester
It's just
Evening News.
pathetic. It's utterly ridiculous. They may as well bring on a
And
big Tom
I
Petty.
left that early because
You
they had
know,
a
and
job
guess how many
in
kind of pennies are
Cordon
in the
Bleu.
In Kellogg's.
Cordon Bleu, what's that?
It's like a supermarket.
Yeah, another one out.
Yeah?
Okay.
And I had to leave the trip early, and
And,
the teacher went mad
I
saying
was watching, I watched it quite late 'cause we
they
just had it
thought
on in
I'd
the
got
corner,
lost on
chatting
the,
and stuff.
you know, in the building and stuff.
What, you
It
didn't
caused
tell
the
anyone?
right
1
hole.
o'clock in the
No,
morning.
because it was like day 2
They've
of
been
working in the
promising this for
supermarket,
ages.
and I couldn't
It
be
was a
late.
couple of sort of
I thought by the
Hollyoaks
time I
stars or
explain where I've
something.
got to go and everything,
Male
I'll be
stars,
even
but a big
later.
part of a
Sure.
male
So I just
stripper.
left, and
Striptease.
apparently
Yeah,
they were
I-
searching
full
the building and
I
everything
turned
for
it
me.
off.
How old were you?
Stuck in a printer.
You know, it's the way it's
I don't know.
Fucking a printer!
I don't know.
What was the printer's name?
You worked at a supermarket called Cordon Bleu.
Cordon Bleu!
Brilliant.
That's great, isn't it?
It's rubbish.
Oh.
Got sacked.
You've had to
What did you get sacked for?
Messing about in a
Are you a gay lord
back in the car park round the back.
Yeah.
Right, there was a grid, and all the concrete had gone funny. So when it rained, you got like a big lake.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and I got in. Do you know those big metal trolleys you get to like put all the food in? Whilst
Oh, yeah.
and I
Yeah.
got in one of them and pushed myself out into this lake.
Of cement.
No,
Of
it
water.
was full
Oh, it
of
was
water.
water,
It'd been
right,
raining,
right.
and I got stuck in the middle, right? And the boss was like, "Where's Carl? He's meant to be doing, you know, facing up the beans." And I was like,
You were stranded in a lake.
So someone said, "Oh, I saw him messing about out the back." He came out and saw me stuck in the middle of this lake in in a trolley, and he said, "Get back in." I said,
Would you say, no, I'm filming sharks?
I said, it's too deep. I can't get out. You'll have to pass me something. And he said, "I'm not passing you nothing." He said, "You can get out of there and walk through it." I said, "I'm not. I've got my trainers on, probably the same
Yeah,
ones,
you've risked
actually."
your life for them.
Yeah. I said, "I'm not getting these wet." I said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to wait for the water to go down the grid." He said, "The grid's blocked. Now get out or you're sacked." I said, "Well, I'm not getting out." He's right, you're sacked.
So you were sacked? How long did you have to wait for the water to go down the
In the
grid?
end, I did get bored, and I sort of did a bit of a leap and a jump and got 1 foot wet.
How long were you waiting?
Yeah, me and Carl were looking at each other.
Half an hour.
Just think of it. Just think. I mean, how did he get himself into that situation? That's fantastic. Should we play
Oh,
records?
definitely, definitely. That's a joy. Oh, you're an absolute pleasure. More White Van Man next time on the show. Electric Soft Parade. I keep trying to get the album for free from you, Carl. You've not sorted me out yet. I have to rely on other people to give me different copies.
No,
of
I did
different
try.
tracks.
I'll keep trying.
Please do. This is one called There's a Silence. Electric Soft Parade.
A song which means nothing to me, actually. I can't relate to it at all. What do you make of Bubba?
I like Bubba.
He's a sort of Downs.
Gomez and Shot on XFM 101.9. Sorry, I was going to tell Steve something. Talk amongst yourselves. When you were out there, Johnny Mango phoned up and said to Carl, "Come on, when are we going to do this thing?" And Carl got all nervous. Right, and he went, "You don't want to do it, do you?" He said, "Well, it's going to get out of hand. I just wanted to go as high as a tree." And he went, "Well, you can. I'll hold you down with a rope." He went, "Yeah," but he said, "but when the crowd are there and they're all screaming higher, higher, I'll feel the pressure and have to go along with it." So what crowd? What crowd? Higher. No, higher.
We don't live in a medieval era. It's not going to be dancing bears and tumbling midgets. Well, I don't know. That's an idea.
Hold on. If there's anyone got any of those,
tumbling midgets would be amazing.
Yeah,
definitely.
Less balloons, cheaper to do.
Oh, you're going
up? No, you're going up with them. No, you're going up with them. Not just no.
With a midget under either arm. Brilliant.
Yeah. Oh dear. It's time for the re-education of Carl Pilkington. This week, Carl was studying the life and times of Winston Churchill. What did you make of it, Carl? What did Churchill do for you?
Right, well, last week I made a bit of an error with Hitler.
Yeah, you
tried to remember too much, and it was way too much for me.
Sure.
So what I've done this week, sort of flicked through, got a few of them basic facts.
Yeah.
And what I've learned, right? Bit weird the way all these people have something in common, that they're all a bit weird when they're younger. Okay.
Go on.
What's illness?
Go on.
Well, you know, Rasputin, he wasn't well as a kid.
Yeah.
Che Guevara.
Oh, this is Rasputin, the mad monk, wasn't well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Che Guevara.
Asthma,
really bad asthma. Hitler, he was
only
a
one
bit mental.
Yeah.
His mother.
He was a bit mental. That could be libelous.
Yeah.
And who've we done? And Churchill.
Yeah.
Very weak child.
Was he?
He only spoke to his dad 4 times in his whole lifetime.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't get on with his dad.
Right.
And I think one of the times when his dad spoke to him, he was having a go, saying he didn't do as well in the army as he wanted him to.
Right.
So that's pretty sad bit I picked up of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that spurred him on anyway.
Yeah. I'm not going in all the ins and outs. Very important bloke.
Okay.
No, seriously. I mean, your dad bought the tapes, didn't he?
Yes.
And I can understand why. Because he did change a lot for us. You know what I mean? We won't be sat here now talking like this.
Why?
We could have been German. He didn't let that happen.
No.
Everyone had a go at him, right? When I think it was Chamberlain who was in power.
Yeah.
And he was like saying, "Don't be trusting that Hitler."
Yeah.
You know, and everyone was like, "Look, stop causing trouble." Chamberlain sorted it out. You know, he sorted out a peace agreement.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, don't trust him." And everyone's like, "Oh, you know, you're just causing trouble. You know, everyone else is happy." And it turned out that Hitler did actually do the dirty.
Yeah.
And try and come over.
I remember didn't he do something? He started a war.
There was a conflict of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started a problem, and everyone went, "Hang on a minute, that Churchill knew what he was talking about."
Yeah.
Get him back in charge.
Sure.
And they got him in, and Hitler was scared of him because he knew that he wasn't going to be having any lies or anything. He couldn't try it on with Churchill.
Yeah. Especially when he was a little bit pissed up and coked and with a big cigar. Churchill.
He wasn't doing that.
I think a lot were during the war, in the war cabinet. I think they had to have things to keep them awake all night and stuff. And certainly liked a brandy.
Rick, Winston Churchill was coked up, was he? I mean, sorry, this is something I wasn't aware of.
If there are any historians listening, if I'm wrong, I'm
was that
very
in the
sorry.
World at War?
No, I don't think so. Any historians or experts on war? Did Churchill and not some of the other people during I think the First and Second World War take a little bit of cocaine?
So when it said that,
doctors certainly used to.
Hitler liked cakes. Would they be like the funny sort of cakes?
No, he probably did like a little bit of Madeira cake.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably nothing like. Sorry, carry on.
So anyway,
he beat the Bosch.
Yeah, did all.
Oh, well, steady on. His personal life's nothing to do with it.
And the most amazing bit is, right, he wasn't fit, and he had a couple of
Well,
strokes.
he's a good-looking bloke in many ways.
Well, he had a couple of strokes, but he had a stroke on say.
We've had that. He beat the boss. He likes to have a couple of strokes. Yeah. Let's not get into innuendo, Carl. It's stupid.
Right. Say he had like a stroke on a Tuesday. He was up and fighting again on a Wednesday.
Really?
He was a strong bloke.
Yeah.
And then he died at about the age of 86.
He's a good lad, wasn't
he? He was really good.
Yeah. So is he the one you favour most of all?
I'd say out of all, I mean Rasputin, I don't understand why he got. Like I said, I don't know why they made a book on him.
No.
He just didn't deserve it.
No.
Che Guevara, you know, he had his time, I suppose, and did a bit good for certain people.
Sure.
Sort of Cuba out. Doesn't really affect me.
No.
Hitler, I mean, enough said.
Yeah.
Bad bloke. Churchill sorted it all out.
Yeah.
And like
so your favourite out of the four of them, the of those four, is Churchill.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I agree. I agree with you. I think.
What I love with your kind of sort of summary of these people's incredible lives is the way that it's almost like I remember in Looking magazine. I don't remember Looking. It was the Junior TV Times. They used to have half a page which was a comic strip summarising someone's life. You might have say 5 Star, the story of 5 Star.
Yeah.
And he'd have a picture. I always remember the Roger Moore one was a picture of like Roger's parents. It was like Roger Moore was born in 1930. Picture of Roger's parents. Roger grew up during the war. Picture of Roger running down the street, this is a school kid, with a Spitfire coming behind him like he was going to try and shoot him.
Mr. Smith, surely.
Exactly, Mr. Smith, yeah. Roger took up acting. Picture of Roger like acting. Roger became James Bond. Roger's now a popular, star in his own right, and does a lot of work for charity. Brilliant. It summed up the whole thing in kind of.
I think they used to have that in one of the TV Times or the Sun. I remember sort of when it was Tina Turner. What's it? Born Sarah May Bullock. And it was Nutbush City Limits. Stop hitting me, Ike. And then you're simply the best, and that was it. It's great.
That's very much what how your summary of great events is.
But I'd say if you didn't know about Churchill, you've learnt a bit today.
I was can people call in to all these fellas taking cocaine? I think I'm right. It's 08 700 800 1234.
Yeah.
Give us a call. XFM 104.9.
Did Winston Churchill and various other dignitaries take coke during the war?
During the war, saying up for the war effort, but emergency summits and meetings. I think it was. I think it's been documented. I could be wrong. And let me tell you now, it's not happening today.
It's quite swank, and we were driving up behind it, and the number plate was something like, I can't remember exactly, but I think it was something like
Wow.
Pete, you're on there.
He's there, isn't he, to save me? For Nancy, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Carl Fielder. I'm getting excited now because we've had loads of calls and emails, not only backing me up, but going a little bit further. Apparently, Johnny Mango called in again. He's become our sort of official researcher on this show. There is evidence that Queen Victoria in Balmoral, with a young house guest, Winston Churchill, used to consume cocaine-filled lozenges. So there you go. Also, MDMA was a precursor of sort of ecstasy, a derivative, and that was big in the day, giving soldiers, a little pick-me-up. So it's not so mad, is it?
It sort of makes sense because
cocaine,
he was into his speeches and that, and they say that coke gives you sort of, the balls to stand up and say like.
Not that that's a good thing.
No, it's not.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
Right? But apparently it makes you confident, doesn't it? So you can stand up and say, we're going to fight them on the beaches. Yeah. And all that, and mean it.
Exactly, yeah. When he was sort of like, a little bit pissed up with his cigar on, coked off his tits, he wanted to fight. He didn't care where it was. He'd fight on a beach. He didn't care. He didn't care if he got sand in his new trainers.
Exactly. He was boozed up.
Yeah. You want to fight? Yeah. That's why he was coming hard.
He was very much. You got to think of him as the Liam Gallagher of his day.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Are we allowed to talk about this? I mean, I don't mean in terms of referencing drugs, but are we allowed to, is this like libelous to Winston Churchill?
One, you can't libel the dead.
Yeah, but
two, it's a
is
lot
that only in America?
I'm asking, and we're not saying, two, I think you've probably got also a fair comment. Three, we say we were joking. Yeah. 4, it's a satire.
Yeah. 5, we love him.
5, we're not condoning drugs in any way.
6, this is Dermot O'Leary's show.
I didn't have a go at him anyway. I said he's alright. If there's any law against Rasputin, we might be in trouble.
Law against you did willfully Rasputin.
Yeah. All over
You
the
did
airwaves.
slag
off Russia's greatest love machine.
yeah. You didn't shoot him till he was dead, did you? Oh, put some poison into his
I'll tell you this, if
wine.
there's any other historical questions that people want answered, then we're the men. Because really, with the three of us, our knowledge of the fact that the Hindenburg was filled with helium,
Yeah.
the kind of coke habits and various drug habits of Britain's most famous political leader,
Yeah.
we've got the answers to all of it.
Einstein.
Go on.
I found out in the week that he didn't talk till he was 6. See, it's all these people who are weird.
Churchill couldn't read, could he, till he was about 8 or 9.
Really?
Yeah. The gap between well, there you go. He got a D in history apparently, GCSE.
Comedian came round last night.
Just one better. No, but Carl called me in the week, and he was a little bit stressed because he's had a bad week now. He got stressed about Hitler and Churchill, and I said, well, we'd chill out a little bit, and I'll teach him something a little bit cozier. And I said, what about animals? No, not frightening other animals. You're interested in animals, aren't you? And he went, all right then. And then he went, okay, here's a question for you, Heather. So there's 3 animals without ears. He said, and I've told you one. And I went, well, that's the snake, because he was talking about the snake. I went, what do you think, Carl? I went, hold on, Carl, there's loads of animals without ears. He went, there's not, there's 3. I went, there's loads. I said, jellyfish, worms, single-cell protozoa, peripherous. But he went, oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Animals, proper animals. I went, they are animals. He went, no, proper animals. And I went, do you mean mammals? He went, what are you on about? I said, are these animals, have they got legs, and are they fur-bearing, right? And he went, one is. They've got legs on. I went, I don't know, I give up. He went, right, the turtle. I went, right, yeah. And he went, and the bumblebee. He said, that's the one with fur. That's the one with fur. The one, what are you thinking? What is in your head, Carl?
Which has got the most fur, a bee or a turtle?
You just think I'm going to have a go at you?
It's not fur.
What is it?
And as soon as you come
Well,
in
well,
here,
it's,
He's done you there, Julie.
Pseudo hairs, isn't it? It's like it's a hair, it's a keratin thing. It's not like we have, like mammals grow fur. Do you know what I mean?
This has been one of my favourite.
He's not convinced. When we say like fur, mammals are warm-blooded creatures. Often, usually placenta, there's a few exceptions, right, that give their milk to their young, nurture their young, and they have fur.
Have you heard about oysters? Oysters.
Ever recorded.
They 1 minute they're a man, then they're a woman, then they're a man again.
Like Eddie Izzard. Now that's libelous. He's a transvestite, could I say? He's not a transsexual. Let's say that straight away. I'm retracting that.
Right, go on then. Give us some more facts.
No, I've got you Aesop's Fables.
No, but you had some more facts. You told me that were dead good. I just wondered if Steve knew her.
What? What do you want to know?
No.
The ones that you read out to me. You had one about the spiky thing.
Go on,
porcupine.
Give me a clue.
How many spikes does the porcupine got?
It's XFM 104.9, and this is Letter to Hermione by David Bowie.
I think it was about 10,000. But these aren't the most interesting facts, are they?
It's alright.
It's alright though, isn't it? Yeah. And he went, but how can they say that? You could say that, we've got a certain amount of hairs in our head. I went 100,000 average. He went, yeah, but I haven't. So how do we know that porcupine that they've counted is the same for all of them?
Might have had alopecia.
yeah, he might have been a particularly hairy one. You know what I mean? Right, you got to do you know what a fable is? I tried to explain briefly. Do you know what a fable is?
Got a rough idea.
Okay, it's a thing that uses sort of metaphor, analogy, just to explain sort of morals. I mean, they're very old for a start, and it's all. I'll give you an example of one. A quick one. Oh, the one about the dog with 2 bones. He goes to a dog's got a bone. He sees a reflection in the lake, and he thinks, oh, that dog's got a nice bone. I'll have that. And as he goes to get that one in the reflection, he drops the one he's got, and that's one about
I think I was told one when I was younger.
Go on.
I think it was one. This young lad, he's got a dog, right, and he's about 8 years old, and this dog, he's had it since he was about 4, and it's a bit tired now, and he chucks sticks for it, and it doesn't go for it, and he's saying to his mum, oh, I want a new dog, because this one's useless, it doesn't do it doesn't have any fun with me. So they say, oh no, but you know, Rover's a good little dog, she'll look after it. And he's like, oh, I don't like it, I want a new one. So they buy him a new puppy, and it's running around, yapping about, and he's loving it, and he's playing around with it in the grass. And then one day he goes to the park and he's messing about and rolling about with it, and he falls into the lake, right? And the little puppy's like yapping at him, and he's going, help me, the little dog's yapping. And then the old dog comes and gets his collar, and it pulls him out of the lake. And he goes, oh God, you know, why did I forget about you? You're the better dog. And he loved that one again rather than the puppy.
I got a feeling that was Lassie.
Yeah, that was an episode of Lassie. What's the moral? What's the moral there, Carl? What's that telling? What's that explaining through analogy?
Sort of, don't forget the old.
Look after old people. I remember there was one I heard once about a young boy who got trapped in a lake inside a cage.
But he loved his trainers so much.
He wasn't going to get them wet.
But
even though he had to get out there,
and even though he thought that was the important thing because it's material value, he actually drowned, and the trainers were no good to him then.
Except that one. That's the first one I've ever heard of his, which really got me in the gut. Amazing lyrics.
Hives, hate to say, I told you so. Now I want to clear a couple of things up. Obviously, me and Steve, we love Carl. This is the things we give Carl to read and talk. Is not to embarrass him or stress him out at all. We genuinely like his view of the world. In fact, we did an interview yesterday with a bloke from the Standard who really liked the show and said, do you like Carl? She take the piss out of him a lot. You know, we just like to say, we love Carl. I said to that bloke, I said, it's like I've got a new kitten. I can't wait to get in and see his little face on Saturdays, didn't I?
Yes.
And I think, I'm worried because I thought I'd give Carl something he was really get his teeth into with these Aesop fables. It involves animals and, you know, little stories. But I've given him a couple and he doesn't seem to be that impressed or understand the concept of what...
You said you'd bring in an animal fact book as well. I can't see that anywhere.
No. Well, you can only read one book at a time, can't you?
Why didn't you bring the other one in first?
Well, it's big. I've got to work my way up to it. I'll probably have to get a cab. It's a bit big. Now listen, I'll give this one. This is an easy one. Now just think, right? Think just what it means. They're not that hidden. They're not that cryptic. Just think what this means, okay? Okay. When the Hares addressed a public meeting and claimed that all should have fair shares, the Lions answered, a good speech, hairy feet, but it lacks claws and teeth, such as we have.
Rayman, it's got Tom Cruise in it, and he's alright, he's normal, but he finds out he's got
How would you use that?
a bit mad.
No, what do you think that means? This is translated from the, I don't know, Greek or something, I don't know. It was Aesop.
He needs to keep his brother, but they don't want him to.
Yeah. So shall I do it in my own language? Okay. So what would happen if there's hares and they have a meeting in the jungle with like loads of lions and go, hey, hold on, wait a minute. I think we should all be equal and share everything, all right? And the lions go, well, yeah, it's easy for you to say. We've got claws and teeth.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He's saying like, of course the hares want that because it's better for them. The lions get nothing out of it. They're already king of the jungle.
That's right. So it's negotiating from weakness. Anyone can negotiate from strength, but negotiating from weakness is your. It'd be lovely. It's a lovely utopian look at the animal kingdom.
But the way you said it is better than the way they worded it.
Thanks very much. But that's because Ricky's very much the modern Aesop. I mean, many people have thought that. You know, that's why he's getting a lot of awards with the TV show. That's a
so look, I'll take that home and read ones you like and tell me about the ones you like, ones that click. I don't care if you only come in with like one or two. Go, I'll tell you what, Rick, that's amazing. There's one thing that I've learned from that. You know, because sometimes you can know all these phrases and until something happens, you don't think, you know, everyone's heard, you know, I don't know, to err is human, to forgive divine. But, and then something, you know, might happen, and you go, oh, that's what that means, that's amazing. So, you know.
Do you know any, Steve, offhand?
What's that?
A fable.
Well, I would imagine that the most famous one I've always remembered is the lion with the thing in its hoof.
Never sleep. If you missed the beginning,
the lion, with the spike in its paw, and a smaller animal gets it out for it, but it still attacks it anyway.
Carry on, Steve.
Well, that's life, isn't it?
Well, I read one the other day actually, which was very interesting. It was one that the famous film director Orson Welles said.
Oh yeah.
Which he said apparently there was a bear going across a lake, wading through the lake, and a scorpion said, well, let me go on your back, will you? Come on, just let me go on your back, we'll go across, it'll be brilliant. He goes, well, no, you'll just sting me. He goes, don't be stupid, if I sting you, you'll die, and we'll both drown. He goes, all right, fair enough.
Who was doing the stinging?
The scorpion.
Right, okay.
And the bear's wading through the water.
Yeah.
So the scorpion jumps on the back, and they wade through the water, and halfway across, the scorpion stings the bear. And the bear goes, well, we're both going to die now. He goes, yeah, it's my nature.
I thought he was going to say, I can swim.
Oh, you're the best.
What's the one about,
Does that mean anything to you? It's my nature, i.e., you know, that's in my nature.
That's the way it is.
That's what I do. Yeah, I'm a scorpion. Yeah, one of my favourite ones.
These don't mean anything to you, do they? I mean, one thing is you're not impressed by them.
They're alright.
What about this? What about this one?
Don't
Yeah, here's one of my favourites. What?
He said, well, why not just say, don't trust bears?
The bear's the one that was too trustworthy. Don't trust scorpions.
Yeah.
Right, here's one of my favourite ones of all time, okay? A lion is dying, it's an old lion, he's in the front of his cave, and all the animals come around, like the foxes and the hyenas, and the rabbits, and they're all taking the piss out of him, and they're laughing at him, and they're laughing at him, going, you can't fight us now, and just before he dies, he goes, fine, but I was a lion once. What does that mean?
Don't know.
Well, he's saying it's better to have lived and had what I had, because I was great, if only for a short time, and you lot are still alive, but you're nothing. You're rabbits and hares. I was a lion once, so you know.
Are they always using animals for these stories?
Well, yeah, I could change it to refrigerators and household appliances if it'd make it help, but animals, you know.
I remember the one about being ill a lot, and you say something about
Go on.
you know, if you keep doing that, if you keep having time off, I won't believe you.
That's the boy who cried wolf. Is that right? Yeah. Do you know that one?
Have you heard the most powerful one? When you're pulling a face, and they say, well, if you keep doing that, the wind changes.
I've
You'll
heard
stay
that.
like that. Because you know that's scientifically proven.
That is.
That can happen.
That can happen.
Should we have hip hop hooray?
Yeah.
Are you queued up for that?
No, but go on.
Oh, sort of. No, come on, this is what I asked you to play, mate. You've got, you know, you're getting too big for your boots now with your showbiz lifestyle. You're not paying attention, are you? You're not playing the records we want you to play.
Heat magazine's favourite.
Yeah. Okay, so,
Oh, you dropped that, you did by yourself. Oh.
You know, with the big
I can't believe you know. Oh, Fable's are great.
He's not impressed, is he, really?
I mean, you know, once I take this book home tonight and that, have a read, I might change my mind on them next week.
So you're coming all stressed.
I'm not impressed with the ones you've been talking about, I must admit.
Okay.
This album is by this group Nerd, who are big hip-hop and R&B producers in the States.
Yeah.
We've played a track from them in the past, Bobby James. This album's been re-recorded, I don't know why exactly, with live instruments. You don't get many R&B and hip-hop records now with live instruments, so it's pretty...
It's all computers, isn't it, Steve, these days, and drum machines.
And there is a forthcoming single. I suspect it might be this track, Rockstar. I'm not going to play that, I'm going to play track 2, Things Are Going to Get Better.
Begging her not to take his man. What do you think's going on there?
Say again.
Well, that's a bloke there.
No order, here to stay. Sadly, we're not here to stay, Steve. We've only got about 2 more minutes.
That's true enough.
Yeah?
Well, I think that's just time for some interesting facts that Johnny Mango, our researcher from loosecontrol.com, has emailed us. A few familiar ones, favourite ones of yours, I think.
Any ones I don't know, though?
I think you know this one, don't you? A pig's orgasm lasts for 30 minutes.
I know. And a pig can't actually look directly up. Wouldn't have thought so after 30 minutes of coming.
No, absolutely.
Steady, be careful there.
That's incredible.
Remember what happened to Tom Bins? Go on.
Humans and dolphins are the only species that have sex for pleasure.
Bonobos do as well, they've rediscovered. Which is a
bonobo?
Yeah, a chimpanzee, like a chimpanzee.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's 3 now.
I can't believe dolphins are getting...
They're 3, they're all at it now.
Yeah. Polar bears are left-handed.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't quite know how they work that out. Do they give them spelling tests? Or writing tests?
Oh yeah, they probably just do it. It's probably the paw they use to hide up the black nose during a hunt.
Of course, yeah. Some lions mate over 50 times a day.
Yeah, not every day of the year.
Okay, they don't do that every day.
No.
Because again, I'm worried.
No.
It's like, you know, I didn't think that dolphins...
What day of the year do you do it 50 times? Well, is it? It's coming up to it. It's April, isn't it? You'd like to get out there.
I have a special day, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we could coincide that with the balloon event. It'll just be me quietly humping in the corner. Volunteers, welcome to email now, you know. And all the proceeds go to charity.
If you are a desperate lioness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Butterflies taste with their feet.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That is interesting.
But they don't eat much, do they? Because they only live a day.
Carry on telling the truth.
Good
carry
point.
on saying exactly what's on your mind.
An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain.
You're like a man who was
Yeah.
frozen.
That's
in
extraordinary.
Victorian
That is,
era,
yeah.
and he's been
And
reawoken, he's kind of
But Carl, how big are your
Some
eyes?
things make sense, other things don't. It's beautiful. It's
As
beautiful.
opposed to one that was made in a
Finally, I think we've discussed this before, haven't we? A cockroach will live 9 days without its head
Yeah.
before it starves to death.
Yeah, it's only because it can't get water and food. Yeah, it would be quite happy going around doing its normal thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably could work.
if you're just as good without your head as with your head,
May as well not have a head.
I don't see the point.
And the song for the
Well,
ladies
that was
this week,
thanks to
again,
Johnny
it comes
Mangler
with a
there
free
of
giveaway
what's
CD
his
that comes with a
website
secular
called?
version called Comes With a
Who's
Smile.
turned into a sort of
And, there's always
volunteered
been a interview.
researcher.
Yeah.
He's very fast.
Losecontrol.com. Can I just say as well, we've had lots of emails from different people just saying they enjoy the show and offering little tidbits and things. Nick Wilson, Sarah and Lauren, Ken, Dan, James, you wanted to Ash, we didn't play Ash, never mind. Lee, Jez, Derry, there's loads of people there.
Well, I'm gonna again. We were talking earlier about you not caring about being like a geek or a freak
Oh,
or
right,
not
that's not-
trendy. No, I'm just saying.
I am thinking, yeah.
And I know, yeah. And I'm going to play a bit of an easy listening. I apologise to those people who still tune in and expect to hear 2 hours of new metal or Gorillaz. And this is a very old-fashioned, lovely tune. It's Bread. I hope you enjoy it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Brett.
Bread. New Order, here to stay on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
We're here to stay
Yeah.
for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right.
That's Steve Merchant
Hello
there.
there.
We're with our producer here, Carl Pilkington. We'll be talking to Carl a little bit later because we've got to have his thoughts on Aesop's Fables, continuing the education of Carl. We've got some great music coming up, haven't
Bloody
we?
good music.
A little bit of, what have we got? Like Happy Mondays.
Badly Drawn Boy.
Yeah, all that. Bob Dylan.
All sorts.
All sorts coming up.
Yeah, Rick, I don't know, I just wanted to bring your attention to this. Someone passed this on to me. It's from the Guardian's media website. It has a sort of website that's dedicated to kind of media
Is
information.
this about our complaint?
Well, the headline is Comedian Rapped Over Radio Innuendo.
Right.
Jessica Hodgson has written the article.
Go on.
Are you familiar with this? Have you
Well,
seen
be
this?
careful now because we actually got a complaint. And people don't know this. We got a complaint upheld. And
Well, all of this
we're very sorry. We didn't mean to offend. And it was a while ago, so we are going to be very careful. Carl's getting very nervous. We're just going to read out. We're not going to editorialise, Carl. We're just going to read out what the Guardian printed about us. All right? Okay.
Comedian Ricky Gervais has had a dressing down from a broadcasting watchdog for his repeated use of the word cock in a lunchtime radio show.
That's all right. That's what
That's
it says.
fine,
Carl.
that's what I
He's
just
not,
put-
he's
this
not going to
is-
say
this
it
is
again. He's
news.
not. Yeah, yeah. Go
Imagine
on.
this is the news and
Yeah.
I'm reading it.
Yeah.
The Broadcasting Standards Commission upheld a complaint against the comedian for coarse sexual innuendo
Yeah.
in the programme on London station XFM. The Commission acknowledged that the presenter's remarks were intended to be humorous, but took the view that the amount and detail of the coarse sexual innuendo had exceeded acceptable boundaries for broadcast, said the BSC in a statement. The complaint objected to a section in the comic's Saturday afternoon show when he discussed the different meanings of the word cock. Gervais wondered aloud whether the word was acceptable when discussing birds, but not the male sexual organ. A BSC spokesman said the comedian went on and on about it for nearly 5 minutes. XFM, a self-styled alternative radio station, said in its defence that its remit was to provide cutting-edge programmes for a youth audience. The station said the programme's brief was to include elements of alternative comedy within certain shows that would not fit within a more mainstream radio station format. In this particular show, it was not the presenter's intention to shock when they took a humorous look at how the English language could be construed in different ways within different contexts. Gervais, whose big break was on Channel 4's 11 o'clock show, has shot to household status through the portrayal of David Brent, the middle manager from hell in BBC Two's cult show The Office.
Just in case you didn't know who I was talking
Yeah,
about.
he's a household name,
Yeah.
but they just
You
thought
might not have heard of him, but he is a household name. Now, that's good. That's good reporting, and they're quite right about it. And just to remind people, it was when Steve said the only bird that hasn't got a penis is the swan, and I went on about the male bird being called the cock, but I couldn't use that to mean, and it was childish. But what annoys me is, I'm sure I've heard things on like Radio 1 like that. Oh, what's what's her name in the morning, Sarah?
Cox.
Yeah, and there's a DJ like Carl.
Cox.
Yeah, so you've got Carl. What's the matter? I'm just saying.
Just saying.
There's a pair of DJs on,
Done this.
and
We're just talking
there's
about
names. they're just saying the names. Now, I love Cops in the morning.
You're a big fan of Cops.
And at night. What's the matter with you?
Come on, Carl. Alright? We've taken it, have you actually been wrapped over this?
No, I don't know what
Have you
happened.
had a dressing down?
No.
When did that happen?
I don't know.
I was meant to tell you, and I never got round to it.
Okay. Thanks then.
So don't do it again.
Giapo on XFM 104.9. Could I just add that in case you don't know what the frequency is?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did they say that? Are they not so you know it if you goes, I'll tell you what, I like that radio station. Yeah. And it was XFM 104.9.
Exactly.
I'll listen to that again.
So listen to that, you can retune.
Yeah.
I was wondering actually, Rick, on this.
Stay locked up this end of the dial.
True enough. I was wondering because obviously we're still trying to campaign to get Carl into the air.
Yeah.
With the balloon enterprise, and obviously the work's been done on that. Don't fret, don't worry. A lot of people are asking for an update, but we'll obviously let you know when it's all going to take place.
Yeah.
But I was wondering
These
whether
things take time.
Exactly, but I was wondering whether we should also have another kind of campaign, some kind of campaign, maybe one that could involve you, Rick. Because I'm particularly concerned, Carl. I don't know how familiar you are with this, with Ricky's eating habits, because he eats so unhealthily.
No,
come on, Rick, don't give me
I'm
this.
getting better now.
No, you're not getting better.
I have a smoothie every day.
Yeah, but I've told you before, that's largely sugar.
No, I homemade one.
I don't care, Rick. That's not enough. It can't counteract, right? This is Ricky Gervais's idea of healthy eating, right? We'll be in the canteen at the BBC. He'll go, I'm going to be eat healthy today, which means he'll have 2 slices of pizza instead of pizza and chips. That's basically that's his theory, right? And it's like, I don't know what, because he can't eat anything which basically doesn't sting the roof of his mouth with flavour. So like, for instance, he's always got headaches. He's always got a headache. Okay, that's because you just drink coffee and Coke. You never drink water. Your body is dehydrated. And I said, drink a glass of water. No, boring. It's boring, water. I don't know if we were in the desert, stranded. Boring. It's boring, Steve. I'll wait till the next cafe. Right, and sometimes he'll go like, oh, I'll have a salad, right? He'll get like a feta cheese salad, right? And he'll eat the little bits of feta cheese, leave the salad. Then he goes downstairs and goes, I'm still hungry. It didn't fill me up, that salad. I go, no, what didn't fill you up was the 200 milligrams of goat cheese that you ate. That's what didn't fill you up. So this should be a campaign. I don't know whether I can observe it, people could sponsor him, something. Just eat healthy, we could do it for some kind of big charity.
Fruit.
I don't think the fruit's the issue.
Okay, if you mash it, I'll eat anything.
Rick, I'm not saying that you don't eat a certain amount of fruit. I'm saying that everything else you eat is unbalanced and it's just rich with fat and it's awful. Yeah. It's sausages, it's beans. You're such a working class scum, aren't you? It's the smell of chip fat is all around him. Do you know what I mean? It's like, even when you can't smell it, you know it's there, seeping through his veins. I imagine when he was growing up, it was just chip fat. It was. In the house, just a big...
It was.
Oh, constantly boiling.
There was always chips on with everything,
exactly.
Yeah, or fried.
Do you want Weetabix in the morning? Deep fat fry that. It's such scum. And now it's like, oh yeah, my palate, I can't eat anything. It's got no flavour. Everything's got to have cheese on it. Sprinkling Parmesan cheese. More Parmesan cheese. And if someone doesn't give him like a whole tub of Parmesan cheese when you're in a restaurant, even though he's ordered like a lobster or whatever, he's like, he sort of has a go at the waiter, or like, not to their face, obviously he's too much of a coward, but he'll say to me, like, he just left the cheese, he's so cheap with the cheese, they don't give me any cheese. He just gave you 3 bucketfuls of cheese, more cheese here. It's pathetic. So I just think we should do something because I'm panicked, I'm worried, I'm worried.
I started working out a little bit. I sort of work out 2 or 3 times a week.
I don't think that's going to counteract it, Rick.
And I drink water through the night when I wake up and I'm dehydrated.
From all the booze you've just drunk.
Yeah, and I have a smoothie in the morning, don't I?
You know what my views are on the smoothies. I don't think that's counteracting.
You're anti-smoothie. You are anti-smoothie.
I don't think it's counteracting all the other
You have got a problem. There's nothing wrong with the smoothie.
Right, fine. Okay, well, if you're happy to carry on as you are.
Yeah, go on.
Badly Drawn Boy obviously has done the soundtrack for this new film About a Boy, which has got Hugh Grant in it, and obviously this current single, what's it called, the current one that's out? Oh, Silent Side, that's being played on XFM, but this is another track from this album, which is the soundtrack, lots of little bits of filler, bits of musical instrumental stuff, but all of it's very nice. This is a cracking tune, track 3, Something to Talk About.
We're having sex and they got stuck in each other. Yeah. He went, right. I'd say, is it the same fella?
as yesterday with Viagra? If so, why was he letting it on the door? I went, it's not, it's too good. Lovely.
Yeah, good tune that, I think. Sarah and Lauren have emailed in. They said they wanted something from Elliott Smith or maybe Jimmy Webb. That's actually produced by the producer of Elliott Smith. And
is that I haven't brought any Jimmy Webb into that.
No, we'll maybe play that next time.
I'll play some next week.
That's Badly Drawn Boy, though, from the soundtrack to this film About a Boy, and that's called Something to Talk About.
We've only got the stuff in the library. Do they want Four Non-Blondes? Because we've got that in the library, haven't we?
The best of Tony Basil.
And we've got just about every song that INXS ever recorded.
Exactly. We don't play enough INXS.
I don't think we do we? No, I can't believe it. XFM 104.9 coming up. White Van Carl.
Who's obviously out with Carl. Yeah. I realise this because we went out. There's what's the name of that evening?
Marketplace, extracurricular.
Extracurricular, yeah. Various XFM DJs go down there and just play an eclectic mix.
Spin some tunes off.
Absolutely. I'm thinking of doing it in a couple of weeks, Rick. And obviously, you know, my turntablist skills now are pretty something to behold. And I tell you this, what I did an amazing mix the other day with my friend Dan. We spent 2.5 hours on it. This is how we spend our evenings now. 2.5 hours mixing from a trip hop sort of hip hop style beat into Arthur's Theme by Christopher Cross.
Great.
When you get caught between the moon and New York
Written by
City.
4 people.
4 people.
Bacharach, Carol Bayer-Sager, Christopher Cross, and a 4th one. Phone in.
If you know that.
Maybe we should. But who knows the 4th person credited on that tune?
If only a prize.
700 800 1 2 3 4. Also, I want someone else to phone in. I saw an advert, right? There's advert toys. I think it must be. Is it because it's Easter holidays or something?
Right.
I was watching today, and there's one of those Transformer type things, and it goes in its shield. It strikes and then goes into its shield, and it goes into a little pod. And I'm sure it was called a Bolock.
Right.
Now I must have misheard it. There's no way you can call a little kid's toy a Bolock. So, can you phone in? I'm quite willing to be wrong. It'd be very disappointing, but are people making little Bolocks for kids? No.
Yeah.
Oh wait, 700 800 1 2 3 4. And what was the other question?
The other question was who was the 4th person that wrote Arthur's Theme?
Yeah.
When you get caught between the moon and New York City.
Crazy, but it's true. Yeah.
The only thing you can do is fall in love, Carl. But I was out with Carl last night, obviously party animal. You know, he's hanging out with some of my friends. You enjoyed yourself, didn't you, Carl?
It's all right.
But you were a bit worried about Jennifer Lopez, weren't you?
Yeah.
What was the concern?
I don't really know what's going on in the pop world.
You're joking.
No.
Go on.
And I was there in the toilets. And I heard it playing out on the speaker, and I heard the DJ go, there you go, that's Left Eye Lopez there.
That's not...
And I thought, it's Jennifer Lopez.
No, it's the little one.
She had some sort of eye injury.
You thought he was breaking the news of Jennifer Lopez losing an eye by calling her Left Eye Lopez?
Yeah.
That's genius.
Don't worry, we put him right. It's okay. It's that easy.
Yeah.
But you were worried for a while, weren't you? You were anxious for a while.
I had no idea. And the thing is, I heard that on Thursday, so for 3 days I've been thinking.
You've been panicking.
Why she called that? Because she changed her name before, hadn't she, to J-Lo or something.
Yeah.
So I thought,
Yeah.
if she got some people after her, if she owes someone money, keep changing her name.
That was What by Gabrielle and Rise.
Anyway, more music, Rick?
Oh, I'd love to.
So yeah, what have you got lined up there, Carl?
Oh yeah. Sweet. Sure.
Respect, total respect to that. Massive respect.
Yeah.
No, Jew. Yeah, no, absolutely. Huge respect.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, but I prefer stuff that I could
so you can get your teeth into.
And
Blackbird Night Style Club there. Spread Your Love on XFM. Do you think? 104.9. I'm loving this, Steve. It's a lovely day.
Yep. We're playing some great music.
We're playing some great tunes, aren't we?
Absolutely.
We're having some great chat.
Yeah.
So let's carry on. Let's continue.
Well, absolutely. Well, obviously, Carl was out with me last night, and he saw that I'm, he knows I'm a ladies' man, and that was obvious. Carl, you could see the vibe around me, couldn't you? When the chicks were talking to me. And just remembered recently, actually, I was on a train coming back from hometown Bristol. And I was on the train, and this girl walks on, good-looking girl. I thought, hey, largely empty carriage. I'm thinking, my luck's in. Because I take every opportunity, Carl. That's the thing about me. I don't choose. She was a good-looking girl. She sat down. I thought she sat down right near me. I thought, brilliant. This guy comes up behind her, and she says, I think it's probably a boyfriend or something.